All right, we're doing it. We're doing it live.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
All right. Excellent. So, let's go ahead and dive on in. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Adam. I use he they pronouns. Here today for the Roll Plus Bond 72-hour charity stream. So, Roll Plus Bond, for those of you not aware, is a group of tabletop game players, makers, and friends. We're celebrating our 6th anniversary with our annual charity stream. So, this year, all donations are going to Medical Aid for Palestine, or Palestinians, a nonprofit organization that provides immediate health care and medical resources to Palestinians in need of help. If you'd like to make a donation at any point during the stream, we'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll give you shout outs during the stream as well. So, thank you all so much for joining us. I am going to be running the game of Nostos, which I actually wrote myself. It's a game about the journey home after a long time away. So, we're here to have fun and raise money for a great cause. And remember, if you can't donate, sharing the stream and donation links can also really help. So, let's go ahead and get started. So I already introduced myself. We're going to go down the list, starting with Emily. If you want to go ahead and give yourself a quick intro and where people can find you.
Woo! All right, cool. I'm Emily. I use she, her pronouns. You can find the games that I make at Too Many Feelings 5. That's the number 5. .itch.io. Um, is there anything else I need to add here? No, I think I'm good. Look at my games. That'd be awesome.
Do it. They're good. Mari, you're next.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, my name is Mary, or Marigold, and I use uh, AM pronouns. It's like they, them, but without the TH part. All right, yeah, and you can find the games that I write at braverun.itch.io. There's going to be some more on there soon. So, yeah, check it out.
Heck
Uh,
yeah.
hello, my Neon. They them pronouns. I I don't have games that I write, but yeah, you can find me on Twitter at
Oh,
Oh no, Neon.
oh no, Neon, we lost
Oh,
you.
is my audio not working?
It just
Ye-
cut out right when you said right before your Twitter.
Oh, right. I just realized I set it to I was just messing with my audio sensitivities, which is not something I should have done. But because I noticed I was picking up stuff on like my chair and whatnot. But yeah, I'm at Neon Wyvern on Twitter.
All right,
It's a sick ass
fantastic.
game.
And you can find Nostos and all of the other games that I write at hawk-windrider at itch.io. Okay, so for the game Nostos, because of how the game is structured, we're actually going to be doing the world and character creation live on stream. So, what I'm going to do is have everyone pull up their games of Nostos if they're not open already, and we're going to go to page 3, where we're going to start with creating the setting. So, who wants to read the setting page?
I'll do it.
Excellent, go for it.
All right, all right. Uh, Setting. Choose your setting. This game is meant to be able to function in any genre. You can be a warrior sailing to their country after a long war. You could be a small freighter ship traveling the hyperspace lanes after a successful delivery. You could even be a lost dog making your way through the woods after running away. After the following questions, where answer the following questions. Where is home for you? Where did you go and why? What is your initial method of travel? Spend as much or as little time on the setting as you'd like. Just keep in mind that your character will likely only interact with so many parts. There will be some optional question prompts in additional resource page on page 10 to help you build your setting.
All right, so this is going to be pretty open-ended to start. So let's start with like kind of a genre or general setting. Does anyone have any strong feelings about like, is this a real world setting? Do we want to do fantasy, sci-fi? What do you guys? Does anyone have any thoughts initially?
I think I want to
Um,
lean away from like hard science fiction. Um,
mhm.
that's my one. That's a no for me. And then in terms of
Okay,
yeses,
perfect. That,
I'm open for whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've been feeling a little bit more grounded spaces recently. I mean, and by that I just mean in a game that where we have the option to have a real world setting. I think that could be interesting.
Okay.
Okay. And I think I don't have like a like saying like anything other than like I think I'd like it to be like smaller scale in terms of like I don't want us to
Hmm.
have like a fleet of ships or something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So in that case, let's go ahead and lean into a bit of like let's pick something more uh real world. Do we want this to be like real world adjacent, like same like, you said grounded, so like no magic or like space fantasy stuff, right? Mary?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like in terms of like general fantasy stuff. I'm fine with like spiritual elements, almost like ghosts or whatever.
Okay.
But uh, less like you know, yeah, not magic
Less
when you think of fantasy magic.
right.
Okay.
Less like a wizard cast a spell and now you're turned into something strange.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love turning into strange things.
Don't we all?
Yeah, same.
Hmm.
Time and place, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Always a time to turn to strange things.
Here,
Excellent. Okay, so let's lean into kind of real world or like real world adjacent. Do we then thinking about the real world, do we have a time period?
I'm almost wondering, like, do we want this to like what's the word I'm looking for? Do we want this to be kind of like a folktale kind of thing?
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's
I
fun.
like that.
Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're really honing in on what we want to do. So, in that case, let's focus a little bit on the actual question. So, where is home for the character that we will eventually be creating? Like, what kind of
Um,
home are you envisioning? What is their hometown? What is their home country? Like those kinds of vibes.
Hmm.
okay. I do have a whole like kind of overarching pitch.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
if we want to hear that, or we can go through the questions one by one.
I mean, I always love hearing your thoughts on these kinds of things, so go for it.
Idjit.
Okay. So as far as like a folktale goes, what if it was somebody? So this is like gonna set time period. It really is overarching. But what if it was somebody who was trying to go west during the like gold rush, Oregon Trail, all that stuff. But now they're going home. They're going back east. And
Okay.
that's our journey.
No, I love that actually. That sounds honestly sounds really fun. Anyone else have anything to add to that as well?
I mean, one thing that I think I would like to find out is I assume that like they weren't successful, but were they? Like,
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
a good point.
I
Or did
think
they
that
even like get all the way out there?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
Did
really
they
like
get turned
that
around?
actually. That idea.
So I think that's actually a great thing. So we'll ask like, where did you go? Why your initial method of travel? When we actually build the character and so on, I think we can kind of flesh that out a little bit more. But I think
Okay.
that's a
Okay.
great thing for us to kind of consider as world building. So I think home for us, we can say home is kind of just uh East Coast, right?
I
Mm-hmm.
think for me, the important thing to hone in on is like, are we going home to a city or a town? or something smaller.
Or a person.
Yeah, or a person, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic. I love that. Keep that in mind. We're going to
Right.
answer more of that later, but I love the way you're thinking. So let's think then, what is home for us then?
I think a person is. I like a person.
Okay. Perfect. Who is this person?
Hmm. I mean, the easy answer would be like a spouse,
Of
which
course.
I'm fine to do that. If anyone else has anything to contribute, could
Yeah, I just
do.
Go ahead.
I have a counter pitch, which is a small child who does not remember us that well. Like it's been
Oh.
We
us
left.
time, so we don't know
That's
how
really
they're gonna
good.
respond.
I
But
love
Okay.
that. And I need you to know that
So,
when Adam and I playtested this game, that's what we did, and it was really good.
yeah, no,
nice.
I
I
have.
love that, and we're gonna actually. I'm actually put a little pin in that because there's gonna be a section where we talk about what drives our character to go home. But I think
Okay.
home being their family, wherever their family is, that's their home.
Yeah. I have like a combo pitch of those two things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And it just being like, what if it was the kind of situation where somebody got somebody pregnant, but
Mhm.
they weren't like financially stable enough to be I don't know, accepted by that other person's family to be able to take care of them.
Oh,
And so they had to leave
Oh.
for a time to go and try to like seek their fortune to be
oh,
able to like
oh! I love that.
That's real good.
Yeah.
To leave
Um,
when, yeah,
that's
got
really
someone pregnant, but needed money to raise the family.
that's really good.
I like
Um,
that a
I think
lot.
the one thing that I
Mhm.
want to say with like uh sorry to clear my throat, in terms of like narratives of like I'm going out west to seek my fortune,
Mhm.
yeah, obviously I'm totally down to do that, um uh and none of us are going to do this. I'm just going to say it out loud anyway, is
Mhm.
like I don't want to fall into like colonialist narratives of like,
Y-
we're going out there in the in the great uninhabited space,
yeah.
to find
I
glory and
Mhm.
everything.
I
Um,
agree. I do agree that none of us are like gonna lean into that, but I do think it's important to address, right? Anytime you're
yeah,
dealing with that time period, it was
Mm-hmm.
a great, great period of turmoil for the indigenous Americans who once, that was their land. So
yeah,
I think that, like, as far as I'm aware, none of us are indigenous. So, I am not in a position to actually say, here's what is and isn't okay for us to like comment on that side of things. I think acknowledging it is important. And then I think that leaning into um I think more again, because this is we're leaning more into the folktale side of things, so I don't think this is going to be quite a one-to-one to like the actual United States, right? It's going to be a bit
hmm,
more folky.
Mhm.
There's going to be some more made up stuff. Just kind of keep that in mind as we tread forward.
totally.
Yeah, and I will say I am not American, so I am not going to be super familiar with that stuff anyway.
Oh, okay,
Understand.
perfect.
Okay. So, okay, we have where is home for us. We have the where did you go and why. So, what's our initial method of travel? So, remember, we're not the game is not about journeying here and seeing what we find. It's that we've already been gone for a while and we are finally returning home. What is our
hmm
initial method of travel from where we were to home?
Hmm.
Are we riding a horse? Is it a carriage? Is it a caravan? Is it a are we walking?
Huh, walking is really funny. That would be very folktale-ish. We just walk. Um,
We'll walk
Yeah.
the country.
yeah, don't worry. We'll just walk. Um, I mean, yeah, like if we want to lean into the imagine the like what am I trying to say? Like, the imagined historical like vibe. It would be, we'd be in the covered wagon with a bunch of other people or whatever. We
Hmm.
could also, yeah, just be in a horse, and we could also just walk. I think it, yeah. How many? I guess it depends on. We want this to be like a smaller, more personal story. I don't imagine us, being with a giant group of people.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
do
to be clear, when I said that, like, I mean, we can be in a large group of people and just not have the camera focus that much on
mm,
I
the
do have.
larger group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
that's a good point.
have kind of like rules and resources for when you do have like a quote unquote crew, and it's up to us whether we actually want to leverage that or not. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think really it's like, do we want this to be that folktale lone person kind of walks from one side of the country to the other, or that kind of folktale of this brave caravan travels from one side of the country to another?
Yeah. So I think part of what will inform the method of transportation
Mhm.
is whether or not our uh, our hero, our protagonist, made it all the way to the west, or if they decided to rob a bank and turn around and come back, or if they just got discouraged and came
Mhm.
back. Because if they made it all the way west, they probably started out in some kind of caravan coming back. Whether
Yeah.
uh, just in the back of somebody's wagon, kind of discouraged and put out, or on their own horse, or on a train, trying to see how far back they can get.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I
I had the
Although there
imagination.
probably there aren't trains yet
Well, there could be.
that far.
I had an image of us hopping onto a train car. Um, unless
Yeah,
we.
I
yeah,
I
yeah. There probably
think
isn't
just
like a cross country train, but oh, sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
yeah, no, you're okay. I think that as far as like just like getting started, I think that maybe we are on a horse. I think that we are
Easy.
alone for now. Again, that doesn't mean we're going to be alone our entire journey.
Right.
It doesn't mean that we're going to be on the horse the entire journey. But I think maybe just starting off alone and then seeing who we encounter
Yeah.
along our journeys is going to be a good kind of folktale-ish kind of journey
Totally.
home.
Hmm. And now with like the folktale idea, one thing that like I know I said less fantasy, more grounded kind of an idea, but
Yeah.
since it is folktale, we can, like a deer or a cactus can talk to the sky or whatever, if we want.
Yeah.
Right.
We can have moments of conversation.
Of course.
Right.
Absolutely.
I like the idea of us walking to the west, however far that is, whatever that is, and
Yeah.
then getting back on a horse to return home.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think that
Cool.
that's actually now a great segue then into so we can actually really because we already have a good general idea of I think what we want this character to be. So let's go ahead and go into the character creation side of things.
Okay.
So that way we can kind of hone in on those specifics for the character, who they are, were they successful? Emily or Neon, do either of you want to read the character creation section?
I could read it after
Okay.
I yawn first. Okay, I'm ready. Both players will jointly, well, in that case,
All
multiple
players,
players.
yeah.
We will all jointly create one character. Pick a name, pronouns, and a description for your character. Think of 3 adjectives that best summarize your character. You will use these as touchstones for narrating vignettes. You can add as many or as few extra details as you'd like. There will be some optional character creation questions and additional resources on page 10. Drive. Fate may guide you back home. Oh, wait, sorry, I guess that's some separate category.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
do character creation, and then we'll dip into the dive. So
there we go.
our character. So who is our character? we already know a little bit about them that, they have to take care of their family, they have to support them. But who are they?
I always have ideas, so I speak a lot, so I'm trying to let other people go.
Mhm.
Mary, I'm the same way, but if everyone's silent for like 10 seconds, I think that's a great opportunity to jump in with an idea.
I think the one thing that I'll
Okay.
say is I want this character to be queer in some way.
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
queer and like there's some gender fuckery going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
in
for
terms
sure.
of gender fuckery, do you think that like the gender of this, like I was gonna suggest like maybe the gender of this character like changes depending on the retelling a little bit?
I like that.
oh, that's really good.
That is really good.
Okay, so in that case, I'm just gonna say that their pronouns are any.
Uh-huh. Or fluid.
Any, fluid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Does anyone have a name?
What if their name is just Red? Like we don't have a last name. It's just RED.
I like that. Okay. And then what I'm gonna actually do, because I have 3 players to work with here. Emily, Mary, and Neon. Each of you are gonna pick one pronoun, or not one pronoun, one
Okay.
adjective to slap onto this character.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think forceful.
I like it.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And I was gonna say resourceful.
Perfect.
Forceful, resourceful.
It
Yours
doesn't
has to
have to
rhyme
be
now
it
too,
doesn't
Emily.
have to be
Sorry.
an adjective.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Emily.
Um, I'm gonna hungry.
Hungryful.
Oh,
Got
that's
it.
good.
Yeah, you got it.
Hungerful.
Someone in chat said horseful. That was really good. Shout outs.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So, um, all right. So we have a name, we have pronouns, we have a description. I think the next thing that we just want, I think because we brought it up enough times, were we successful? I think
Mhm.
we were. Like, I do think that this is like, I don't think we were like, we like got super wealthy and like, we could like buy a train ride back or something like that. But I think that we made like a good living that we could bring back to our family, and we can at least like set up a business somewhere. Like, we can at least get started.
Mhm.
So
I think yeah, I think
Mhm.
I like the idea of it at the beginning of our journey home, we have at least something to show to our family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just gold? Do we have like a sack of gold, like physically?
it's probably money, because
Mhm.
the way that it worked loosely from what I remember is, basically when you work for the gold mines or gold panning or whatever, you'd bring your finds in at the end of the day, and they would kind of cash you out for it. So it's very rare that you actually like kept the gold. And then also gold is really, really heavy. So it'd be easier to transport money. But
Yeah.
now that I've
We're
said that
probably
out
bringing it back
loud,
like
this is a folk tale. So having a
uh-huh.
satchel of just gold is actually a really fun idea.
We are forceful. We can just be really stubborn and be like, I can carry it.
I know I just said all that
Yeah.
about probably money, but I'm recanting all of that. I think we just have like a big bag of gold.
Yeah. Something the exchange rate is better back east.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's great. Okay, excellent. Um, Neon, can I have you read the section for drive?
Okay. Drive. Fate may guide you back home, but the journey is long. Answer the following question. What is the one thing back home that keeps you going even when things are at their most hopeless? This can be anything from a spouse, a friend, a bed, a sunset, or the smell of flowers on the breeze. Whatever this is, draw strength from it to make your most difficult decisions.
So I think we already agreed it's going to be our child.
Yeah.
Um,
Lover
our child slash
and our lover. Yeah.
and our
Not
lover.
slash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hold up. I explicitly remember seeing incest being on the line section, so
I misspoke. It's
yeah.
it's
And
early.
I
No
think
worries.
yeah, and I think in particular, right, that like I guess that's something else important. How long have we been away?
Yeah. I was
Like,
thinking
how
that
old is
too.
our kid now?
I like 5 years
Yeah,
myself.
5 years, yeah.
that feels right to me.
I like that. And we probably left. Did we leave before or after our kid was born?
I like before.
Before.
Like,
Yeah.
depending on if we want our lover to like communicate with, like send a letter, telegram, whatever, while
Right.
we're on our journey, like we might not even know if like they survived the birth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Excellent. Okay. So our next section that we're going to fill out is the storm. So I will read this section. This journey is not as simple going from point A to point B. You may be fated to return home, but fate has not dictated when. There is something out there impeding your journey home. This is the storm. The storm is not an adversary that can be overcome in a single vignette. While this is called the storm, it can be anything at all, ranging from a tempest sent by a vengeful god, a military blockade from a rival star system, or even as simple as a forest so thick navigation is impossible. So we're going to answer the two questions below. What stands in your way? Why does it feel insurmountable? The storm does not need to show up in every vignette, but should be utilized as a narrative tool for creating problems necessitating the decisions seen in vignettes. So, let's.
I like the
Yeah.
idea of it being like society. Like we like we could narrow that down to something more specific, but I'm thinking about like we were in love with this person, they got pregnant, and we didn't have the resources to support them, and then and their family didn't support us. So then that
Mm-hmm.
motivated us to like leave and go on this journey. Like um or at least like some aspect of the storm being how people perceive us and
Maybe it's just our reputation or our look. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we have a reputation that's we've like built up and people don't trust us or something.
mm,
Okay, why aren't we trusted?
Um, I mean, I don't want to like talk over other people, but maybe part of like the reason like maybe like people see our gold or something and assume we did actually just rob a bank somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. Um,
Right. People don't carry this much gold. Like you said.
But I think it's also like we're a wanderer. You know what I mean? Like we're on our own. Why
Yeah.
are we on our
yeah,
own?
yeah.
that's suspicious. I think that's a fantastic kind of like thing that
Also,
stands in our way. Yeah.
people can tell we're queer, on maybe
Yeah.
Mhm.
not directly, but there's a sense about it that you know, that
Yeah, like you're not
real
like you're
people
not you're
experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
think. Sorry.
no, sorry. I was just gonna say like you're not like us, that kind of
Hmm.
immediate.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it has to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think depending on the retelling, like if someone like a trans person is retelling this folktale, it's that they are trans and that like is explicit in the story. Like I think that's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like part of the, I guess, point of this
Yeah.
folktale is that.
Like I like
Yeah.
that. I think this is explicitly a queer folktale. Like this is a folktale that is passed around by like, queer people of the time period.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In my
Okay.
brain, that is like what we're dealing with is like
Yeah. Yeah.
a trans woman that is that is also leaning on the fact that they can pass as a man, but is really uncomfortable doing that, in but obviously this story gets told many different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Um,
So then
here,
oh, go ahead, Emily,
sorry.
sorry.
Here's a question that I have. What race is this character? Like we are telling
Mm,
an American folktale during the Gold Rush. We've already talked about like being othered in a queer sense. Um, like I feel like it makes sense to bring this up and talk about it. Like, and again,
mhm,
like we don't have to go in depth in terms of like real world bigotry that this character experiences,
Mhm.
from whatever direction. But I think it is
mhm.
worth talking about.
Hmm. I will say I don't particularly feel comfortable trying to portray that like historical. Like I know you said we don't have to go into detail, but also I feel like I'm not particularly qualified to play that.
Same. I think it's important to bring up, Emily, so I'm glad that you brought it up. But
Agreed.
as far as I know, none of us, I think all of us are white. Neon, please correct me because
Yeah,
you're the only person I'm not sure about. Uh
Yeah, I'm like half white. It's fine, but
okay.
I don't feel comfortable like doing that sort of work.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't
I
think that
guess,
it's similar to the whole part of the with the indigenous American side of things too. I do think acknowledging that, but I don't think that any of us are equipped to really fully explore that. I do think though that this is already, a very flexible story. So because it is a
hmm
story that is historically about being othered or being seen as different, I could definitely see that it's a folktale that could also be passed along around other communities outside of the queer community, where it's not it's less about the actual identity and more about how this identity fits in with each community that the story is told.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, yes. hmm
But I appreciate you bringing that up, though, very much so.
Yeah, totally.
Um, so why does this feel insurmountable?
I think it just feels like everywhere they stop to get rest, there's trouble. Um, every little town, and so every time they stop to resupply, somebody gets in their face.
Hmm.
I'm going to suggest I think even before we went out, we had this problem.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
been like we went and did this insane thing and we're still having this problem, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right. Right.
hmm
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just yeah, it's just there's no opportunity to be away from that judgment, and from that
hmm
perception.
Yeah.
Um, it's always there because other people
Yeah.
are always there.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. I want to keep this ball rolling for us here, and we're going to move. So the next page talks about the crew. We've already agreed that we're not really traveling with the crew, I think. So we can actually go ahead and skip this page. We're journeying alone. And who wants to read the time frame section?
I'll go
I
ahead.
can.
We'll just
Oh,
keep the
okay.
order going. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, keep the order going.
Yeah. Okay, determine how much time in fiction the journey takes. It can be weeks, months, years, or even across an entire lifetime. Um, you don't need this to be rigid. If during gameplay it feels more natural to go with a shorter or longer timeline, that's okay. This is intended to give general guidance for the pacing of the game's narrative and how much time could potentially pass between vignettes.
Perfect. So, approximately how long is this journey going to take us?
Well, it took us 5 years to get there. Does it take us another 5 years to get back?
No,
Does it take
we
us?
were away for 5 years. That's including
Oh,
we were, mining and or like panning for gold
mhm.
or other methods of acquiring gold.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, I think
um,
up to a year or so, a little less than a year, up to a year, a little more than a year, somewhere around there. That's kind of what I'm
Yeah, I
thinking.
think that sounds good.
Yeah, that makes
okay,
I
sense
so
to me.
about a
like
year.
that as framing, like maybe the different seasons are, I always like that in
Yeah,
a piece
Yeah,
of media.
yeah.
exactly.
Emily's on board.
Emily is on board.
I'm on the choo choo train. I'm
All
I'm
right.
real excited.
Excellent. So we've already so the next section is preparing for the game, which we have already done. So, because we've already done this and we are doing this as modified for 4 players. Normally this game I wrote it for 2 players. It is very easily modified for 4 players. So I'm going to jump in here to kind of talk through as everyone can see on the stream, you can see that there are 4 decks of cards there, and then there's also a joker next to each deck of cards. um we have each been assigned a different role that we are going to take on to portray these vignettes. So what I'm going to have you do is just a discord order, go down and say what role you are playing for the
Okie dokie. I'm Emily. I'm gonna be playing Ruthlessness.
game. I am Adam, I'm playing Mercy.
Yeah, and I'm Mary, and I'm playing Glory.
I'm Neon, and I'm going to be playing Shame.
Fantastic. So, um, moving on again in our order. So, Mary, who read after Mary? Was that you, Emily, or is it Neon?
I think I read after Mari.
Okay. If you
But
could
Yeah.
just read page 8, please.
okay. Hang on, let me go to page 8. Da, da, da. Is this the playing the game section?
Playing the game, yes.
Okay. Each player keeps their decks face down. At the same time, each player will draw and place the top card from their deck face up. The player that draws the highest card will narrate a vignette of the character making a decision that impacts the course of their journey, framed by being, in this case, the 4 things, so merciful, shameful, ruthless, glorified.
Gloriful.
The yeah, gloryful. There we go, gloryful. Listen, the amount of times we keep this bit up, feel free to donate to medical aid for Palestine. The
Every
other
time we
player,
end a word with FUL, yeah.
exactly. Not FU though. That's important. The other player can give input and ask clarifying questions, but should not contribute outside of that. These decisions can be small or large. A vignette can be as long or as short as you want, but keep in mind these should be on average only a few minutes long. Bet. Following the vignette, have the player who lost the round ask a question from the point of view of whichever trait they are playing as, which is awesome. I fucking love this game. You can choose to use the difference in value between the cards to determine the scope of how, in this case, merciful, shameful, uh, ruthless, full, or gloryful your vignette is. After the scene, the winner of the round adds the 2 cards played to their discard pile. These will be used later to determine the ending. Before each vignette, determine how much time passes. It doesn't have to be the same amount of time between each vignette, so go with whatever is most interesting to you. In this game, 2 is the lowest value card, and aces are the highest.
Perfect. And then Neon, take us home. Read the on page 9 the rest of the playing the game section.
Okay, in the event of a draw where the cards match, co-narrate a vignette just framed by indecision. Your character fails to act when it's most important. Following this vignette, instead of asking your own question, you will ask, what is the cost of their indecision? Afterwards, each player claims one of the cards for their discard card pile. If you play your card and it's lower than your opponent's card, you can invoke a joker. By invoking a joker, you automatically win the round, narrate a vignette, and claim the cards as if you played a higher card. After invoking a joker, flip it face down. It can no longer be used for the rest of the game. The joker cannot be played twice in a row, and it cannot be used to break ties. The joker is never counted towards your total at the end of the game.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And so the last thing I'll add too, just because we are playing with 4 players, whenever someone wins a round, anyone can ask that follow-up question. And then separately, as it relates to the stream, so each of us have been assigned one Joker. For every Joker that is played during the game, I am going to donate $5. And then for every tie that we see in the game, I will also donate another $5.
I have a quick question about ties,
Yes.
as it relates to there being 4 players.
Yes.
I was wondering about that.
With
Yeah.
if it's just 2 people that tie, is it possible that we could have it be like a merged thing rather than a like it's like both of those things influence the decision, but if it's like 2 or more, then it is the indecision.
I
How
think
do we
that
feel about that? Or would that
think
get in the way?
I think that might make things a little bit more complicated to juggle. I definitely think that, like, in the
Okay.
event of a tie, if you want to incorporate the, like, conflicting feelings, like, if you
Of the
want
two.
like, if Mercy and Ruthlessness tie, you're torn between the 2, or if Mercy and Shame tie, like, you can incorporate those emotions into that reason why it causes indecision. I don't think it'll
Okay.
change that there being an indecision. In the
And he-
event that
Okay.
anyone ties, though, everyone keeps their card. No one takes anyone else's card, though, even if only 2 people tie.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, is it gonna be all 4 of us flipping
Mhm.
cards at once? Just
But
for
we are
clarity.
all gonna be flipping cards at the same time, so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Got it. That makes sense.
Okay, excellent. So in that case, we are right on times for actually starting the game here. So let me just check if there's been any additional donations to read off. Let's see here. All right. I'm not seeing any donations that have come in since.
You can be very donationful if you want.
It would be
and,
very donationful of you
you know,
to donate to the stream.
Mhm.
I believe whoever's moderating the chat, someone can put in the command to pull up the Tiltify link, which will allow you to donate directly to Map. But all right, we can go ahead then and get started. So, does everyone have the playingcards.io open?
Yes.
Yepers.
All right, perfect. So,
Woo.
everyone hover over your specific deck, and we can go ahead and we're gonna do our first card flip in 3, 2, 1, flip. You can just do the
Quack.
click. All right, jack
I
of
lose.
hearts. Jack of hearts takes it. So we're gonna start off with a scene about Mercy. So about 1 month, or sorry, a couple weeks into our journey, I think, we're okay. Wait, I can't. Are we already, Fred? Are we on foot or are we on a horse?
We're on a horse.
Horse.
We are on a horse. Okay.
Of course.
So I think that we're about 2 weeks into our journey. We have our horse has the little saddlebags. There's like we have just this satchel of gold just hanging over the back. It's just click clink click clink click clink as we're walking. Um, and I think we're walking through this really small town. Like, think like your classic Western town where it's really just kind of like one main road with buildings on the side, and that's like the entirety of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that, we're not quite ready to stop for the actual day. I think that we're ready to kind of keep pressing. This is just kind of a town that was on the main road. So we're just going to kind of walk right through. We weren't planning on stopping, but I think that as we're kind of trotting on our horse, something like bumps into our horse, and our horse kind of rears up for a second, and we look down, and there is a small child, maybe about 8 or 9 years old,
Mm.
who looks dusty and ragged, and kind of just looks up at you with kind of pleading eyes. And I think there's a moment where Red decides that, like, where Red's thinking it's like, I just got to keep getting home, I can't like stop. But this kid looks, small and hungry, and so I think what ultimately Red decides to do is pulls the kid onto their horse, and finds like a little like tavern, and sits down with the kid and makes sure they have a meal before proceeding on. So
Cool.
My follow-up question is, what do we do when the child begs us to take them with us?
Oh,
Mhm.
Emily, you're already stabbing me in the heart. Why? Oh, oh,
come on, Mercy. What are you gonna do?
Beep, beep, beep.
Is it
I
merciful to bring
think
him or to not bring him?
it's not merciful to bring them, is the thing.
Yup.
I think that I encourage the kid that things are going to be okay, and I reach out my hand to like shake their hand. And when I hop back on the horse, they look at their hand, and there's a nugget of gold just in their hand.
Hmm.
I think, what do you do when their parent, who I think is the gender of the main character here,
Hmm.
comes out and grabs their child protectively and looks at you with suspicion?
I think I just tip my hat at them politely.
Okay.
Any other
Next
follow-up
card flip.
questions, or
Mine's too cruel, so I won't ask it.
well, okay. All right. All right, Mary. Okay. All right. Damn. Save it for later, I guess.
Yeah, put that in your
It's
back pocket for later.
yeah. It's like I don't want the story to go this way this fast this soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I I would just like we're gonna take a brief tangent. We're ahead of schedule. Brief tangent to just say I played the game
Yes.
that I wrote before this one, same systems, called Sweet Peony, also great. I played this with Mary. One of my biggest regrets in this life is not audio recording this thing, because Mary saved air jokers until the very end to ensure that like the last series of vignettes were all tragic and mournful. It was one of the saddest games I've ever played. I cried. It was beautiful, and I cherished every second of it. So, anyway, next round. All right, 3, 2, 1, flip.
Oop, I'm late.
Oh, I am. I'm trying to flip on the stream.
Oh,
Oh, there you
Woo,
go.
we got a
nice.
glory.
I win. All right. Give me these. Okay. Glory, huh? Now, see, I know each of these is like framed as like two positives and two negatives, but glory I
Eh,
see as sitting right
no.
there fat
We're-
on the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Like it's like yeah. Yeah. I mean, right. No, yeah, I know. But
I mean, I can see shame the same way. It's sort of like a
right.
sobering thought at the
They're
same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, they're more the middle ground ones for sure. But okay, so glory. So it's been another couple weeks. We've been traveling. We're on our own. There's when you're talking about leaving the West and going back east, especially, I mean, even now, but especially in this time period, there are a lot of stretches of just absolutely nothing.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
and Red comes across a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Um, the it's starting to get dark. Um, I think if we were originally coming from, if we made it all the way to California, we're in Nevada now, and we're passing through some mountains, and it's starting to get dark. There's smoke coming out of the chimney. There's lights on in the cabin, and by lights I mean it's fire and lamps. Although recently I did a lot of research and electricity came to the U.S. around this time, but it wouldn't be here at this cabin. Um, and we stop in, and it's just um, an old man uh, tending his stew, and they offer um, us some of their food, some of his food, and we stay. And he tells us a story um, of how he and his husband built this place and how things were really hard for a long time, and then they got better. Um, and they lived here until until his husband passed on, and he's buried out back. He'll show me in the morning if I want to see. And for now, I think this feels like glory. Um, this feels like there is hope for people who are different, and I think we just spend the night indoors for once. We don't get to sleep inside very often, but
Mhm.
we're awake a lot of the night, just in kind of a happy consideration of what life might be able to look like for us in the future.
I love that. I love that a lot. Um,
Yeah, for my question, I'd like to ask, what's the first thing that you see from society that brings you down from that glory?
Oh, after
oh,
uh, after leaving,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so it doesn't take very long. It's actually the next morning. It's a little bit of a hike over to where the husband was buried, and the grave has been desecrated. Um, Somebody's kicked over the headstone. which was just a carved piece of wood, like a plank. Somebody kicked it over and broke it. And um, if we can't tell where the grave was supposed to be, but our friend, the old man, knows and just says, "Well, yeah, this happens from time to time. I have to come and carve a new one." It's I don't even really think about it that much anymore, but uh, it's just part of what I have to do to exist out here, or to exist as I am. Um, but it's a small price to pay to be true to myself and to show the love that I have for the man that I lost.
How long do you stay to help him carve a new headstone?
Mm. 3 days.
What's a gift that we're given before we leave?
Well, besides the story, and besides the company and the um, you know nights to sleep inside, um, he gives us a comb, just a comb, a hair comb that belonged to his husband. Um, 'Cause I have a lot of his stuff, like we lived here together. It's there aren't very many things that were just his or just mine, but this is one of the things that he had for a long time, and I didn't get much use out of it. It points at his head. It's bald.
I was
Um,
about to say.
yeah, I don't get much use out of it. I've just kept it sentimentally, and you know, maybe you could take it as a token, as a reminder that uh, while there are plenty of folks who won't understand who you are, there are, and I am one of them, folks who believe in you and who want you to live happily, um, and with the kind of love that you desire. Um, and you've got enough hair to use this comb, and maybe that little baby of yours will be able to use it one day too. But don't forget about me, and don't forget about old Bart in that grave over there. Uh, don't forget our story, and if you don't mind telling it from time to time, you know, I think it would. I think he would love that.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, that was beautiful. Already sobbing. Thank you, Mary. All right, next round. Let's do it. All right. 3, 2, 1, flip.
Oh,
We have another
oh,
ace.
Ooh!
oh, there's a tie though. Is that
I think I never foresaw this coming. I think that it still goes to the. Actually, you know what?
Yeah,
As
still
I'm
goes
the
to the
person
high
who
card.
I still think it goes to the high card, but also, I'm the person who wrote this game. Do y'all think it's more interesting to like just have it go to the high card just for simplicity's sake, or do you think we should still address the tie?
I think that it's worth honoring the tie in some capacity.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Maybe what if we do? Oh, go ahead. If you have an idea as
no,
the
you
author.
go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
What if um the winner, so in this case Shane, describes it. Maybe we should all keep our cards in place just for the moment. And then um, Mercy and Glory add complications.
I like that. So here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be complicated, and I'll figure out how to write rules for this eventually for maybe Nostos 2.0. But Glory and Mercy keep your fours, and then Shame, you get your card and Ruthlessness's card.
Oh, okay.
So the tires keep their card. Then, yeah. Am I making this more complicated than it needs to be? Probably. Are we doing it live? Yes.
Doing it. We're doing it.
I think it
Doing
works.
live.
Yeah, I think it
It's
works.
just both the rules at once.
Yeah,
It's
there you
fine.
go. Exactly. So in that case, Shane, you're going to kick us off with the vignette.
Yeah, I think this is us stopping off at a. Well, I think we're stopped off at a town, and we get a letter. I think we find that a letter has been. I think it's been through a lot of different towns to try and reach us. I think that's like we see a shot of like it being passed through a lot of different people, and then someone just says, "Red, this is for you," and we're presented with a letter with, I think it's a simple looking letter, a blue envelope, and it smells of our partner. It's a very faint scent at this point of lavender, I think. And we look it over, and I think we see a shot of Red looking at the letter over the course of their day. I think they spend a lot of time like doing various things with the letter in the shot, and then we see them looking at it over the fire, and they just place it down beside them. They're too scared to open it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think
Um
they're like sitting at. They don't want to be alone, so they're sitting at a like larger gathering of travelers, and they're just sitting off the side with the letter beside them.
Okay.
all right, Mary, do you want to do your complication first?
Sure. Yeah. Um. Let's see. I think sitting at the fire, and where's the fire?
I think it's like there's a big bonfire in the center, and Red is sitting just close enough that they can feel the heat and the warmth,
Okay.
and everything, but they don't want to be too close to everyone else. They want quiet right now.
Okay. Well, the complication is you don't get that. Somebody comes up to you, and uh, is a little intoxicated, and is asking you a lot of questions, but in a way that they're trying to flirt with you, but it probably in this moment just feels like a lot of pressure, like kind of
Mm-hmm.
overbearing. But I think they take the letter from you, and start to open it. Like, what's this? Kind of trying to be playful, but anyway. Well, what do you do?
I think I think we see a bit of Red's forceful nature here. I think Red sort of grabs it from them, and like in a very like They put their hands on the other person's shoulders, and I think at this point they're larger than the other person, and their physical presence is very known in this scene. As they grab back the letter, and I think everyone else is now looking at them
Ooh.
in a sort of suspicious manner. And I don't think it's like super, like, it's not violent, but it's the hint of violence in this stranger that gets everyone suspicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My complication is kind of following up on that is how does Red react to being asked to leave the town and never come back?
I think Red is upset. I don't think they have enough time to gather everything that they have with them. I think they attempt to apologize with gifts of gold, but I don't think it works. I think it's very like at first it's words, and then it's like I'll pay for any damages or whatever. There weren't damages, but I don't think it works. I think they have to leave some of their things. Nothing important, I think, but it's like small. Like Red doesn't have a lot of stuff.
Right.
They can't. And I think the small things that they have to leave, it's nothing important. It's like maybe a blanket or a picture of just some scenery or something, a notebook, but it hurts nonetheless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the end, we see them put the letter in a pouch on the back of their horse, and we see that there's several letters in there, all unopened.
I'm
Oh my
assuming all
god.
of the letters are like the same envelope and handwriting and all that. Yeah.
When you dream at night, what do you think the letters say?
Oh my god.
I think it depends on the night. I think it's sometimes it's a wonderful declaration of love and plans of their wedding, and it's wonderful and gorgeous, and the second they wake up, they can feel their partner's embrace and can picture it in their mind, and they're so close to opening one, but they can't. And other times it's tale of calamity. It's not actually their partner who wrote this letter. It's just a letter of their notifying them of their demise. It's they have died. A notice they have died of scarlet fever or some other terrible disease, and they wake from those dreams in a cold sweat. It is many different things depending on the night, but it haunts their dreams.
How do they push past those dreams?
I think it's every morning they have to take care of their horse. They have to brush the horse, they have to make sure it gets food. I think it's like that sort of routine, and the understanding that a living thing they need to take care of a living thing. This horse relies on them.
Excellent.
I love it. I love that. All right, let's do the next round.
Now hold on. Did we donate for that tie?
I'm keeping track of total donations, and I'm going to
Oh, you're gonna
donate
do
lump
one at the
sum.
end.
Lump
I
sum
mean,
at
that
the
makes
end.
sense. know what? That makes sense.
Yeah,
So you don't have to
not
take
to.
time during each.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
wait, I gotta donate.
But I am keeping track. Speaking of donations, we do actually have a few donations that have come in. So,
Ooh.
Kelsey donated 25, which is phenomenal. We have an anonymous donation of 10. And then we have a donation from Red Sack of Gold, donating to be
Ooh.
donateful. Thank you so much, Red.
Thank you.
That's the best.
All right, excellent. Let's keep going.
Sweet.
All right. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Good.
Ruthlessness. I like how we've also had just happened to go one by one. This is really great.
Yeah.
True.
There are a lot of different ideas for ruthlessness here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Go on, Emily. Break our hearts. I dare you.
I think. Hmm. I think that I'm thinking, I'm contemplating.
While you're thinking
Ruthlessness.
on that, there's one actually other donation that I need to shout out that I just noticed.
Thank you.
Alpha 39 is currently doing a donation match. Up to 500 is that pounds? Pounds, yeah. Up to 500 pounds. So all three of the
Ooh.
nations I just read are also being matched by Alpha 39. Thank you so much.
Oh wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Shout outs. I think I'm going to start small here. I think that
Mm.
we are, we really feel this like urgency to return home. And I think what this looks like is we just we keep going past the point of exhaustion. We push our horse too hard. Um I don't think it's necessarily like straight up animal abuse or whatever, but it's more like,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
the horse needs to rest and we're like, no, we have to keep going. Um and yeah, I think that it is ignoring people's comments and stares. It is ignoring hunger. It is ignoring thirst. It is ignoring exhaustion. And it is just continuing to travel um,
Mm.
through these lands.
How long has it been since they left the West at this point?
Mm.
Or are you still kind of in the West? Or no,
I think-
sorry. I don't mean to contradict your question, Adam. How long
Mhm.
has it been since they left the West?
Mm.
I think it's been like a few. I think it's been like a few weeks of really hard riding, and really like hard traveling, and just kind of having these like blinders on of we have to keep going, we have to keep moving. The letters in the pouch are like burning a hole through
Mhm.
our heart, and we need to get home.
S- So, okay, so we were about a month or so in the first couple vignettes. So we're what, another month in on top of
Yeah,
that?
let's do another month.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
what What season is it, and how does that make it hard to travel?
Oh, good.
Summer. It is really fucking hot. It is really hot and dry, and the sun just like is this eye that glares down on us, and we have to keep going. Um we're so fucking sweaty. It's real gross.
Mm.
Um, at what point do you finally let your horse rest?
um I could be really mean here.
Good.
Um
Mm-hmm.
the horse collapses from exhaustion, and we leave it behind.
Mhm.
Damn. Poor horse.
Okay. My follow-up question is, how do you take that out on yourself? The guilt of that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hmm. I think that it's refusing help from anybody. I think it is like we are doing everything by ourselves now. We have all of our supplies with us. It's not a lot, but it's still heavy for one person to carry. I think we encounter some people occasionally who offer to help, who offer, we pass by inns, we pass by places where we could conceivably find shelter, and we just refuse. And
Mhm.
it is just a continuous, like, kind of spiral into isolation
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
rejection of any kind of community.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. All right. Next round. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Woo!
Yay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
That.
All righty. Again, it doesn't have to be for this round, but just remember that anytime you want to use a Joker to take over and count yourself as the win, please do.
Mhm.
Um. All right. So we're on foot now, which is less than ideal for sure. Um, because we were probably about, I just real quick, by the way, I did just look up how long it would take uh basically it would take to ride a horse across the country. Um and like assuming the horse was like an automaton, it would take like 3 months. In reality, it would probably take closer to a year. So I think that we need another horse. Um but I think that what happens is the next town we walk into, we find a place that does, they do sell horses. Um but the when we walk up, we're like, "Hey, I want to buy a horse. I have money, ready to pay for it." And I think that the person takes one look at us and just refuses to serve us or do any business.
Mm.
They're like could it be that we're just kind of dirty and shabby and so on? Yeah. Is it probably because we're queer? Yeah, unfortunately. And it sucks a lot. Um, so I think that Red kind of goes back to the outskirts of the town, waits till nightfall, and stands up and is like, "Well, if you're not going to sell me a horse, I'm going to steal one from you because I need the horse more than you need your horses." And I think that they approach the horse's pen, um, and there are two horses there currently that he could see, but the horses are nestled up against each other, sleeping, and it makes Red think about Air Family
Mm-hmm.
and how they're separated currently and how much it sucks to be separated. And Red just does not have it in her to actually like separate these horses. So he winds up just leaving.
Uh,
I think when you next meet a traveler with a horse, I think you look at the horse in a certain way that makes the horse distrustful of you. What tips you off to that?
The horse is distrustful, or the traveler?
Yeah,
The
the
horse.
horse.
I think that Red just stares at a horse, and it. I think horse kind of it almost feels like when a predator stalks its prey to the horse, and the horse is immediately like, I feel like I'm about to be attacked, and is just not happy at Red at all. Now,
mm-hmm.
does Red like realize they're doing this? No, of course not. But they're just like fiercely gazing at the horse. Yeah.
Follow-up question. What are the condition of your feet? Without getting into too much detail, but like,
Yeah.
how you holding up,
Um,
Red?
they suck. Like, I think that Red is used to physical labor with not the best protective. Like, either like between the work that they did for several years, right? They probably built up like a pretty good tolerance to like pain, and they have calluses and all that stuff. But working in a mine or like panning for gold, it's a different type of like workout or exercise than walking through the country. And
Mm-hmm.
so without getting into too much detail, I think that their boots just really weren't made for walking long distances, and so they're getting theirs.
Mm-hmm.
These boots weren't made for walking?
These boots weren't made for walking. I know it's a travesty for someone like you, Emily. No, they were made for riding.
Oh, fuck, riding boots? Yeah. Man. The sweat just like goes through them.
Yeah,
These boots are so smelly.
yeah.
It's the question that oh. When we finally get a horse, it's not a good horse. I think that this horse is like old and slow. How do we take care of it anyway?
Great question. I hmm.
I'll add a detail while you think.
Yeah.
This horse was abandoned. You found it on the side of the road. Whoever was taking care of it decided it wasn't worth it.
Oh. I think Red just promises to be kind to it. I think that it Yeah, I think that it's a promise. I think Red goes, I'm like, because Red has, I think, guilt around what happened to their last horse, even though they're convincing themselves that there was the right thing to do. They still have that
Mm-hmm.
guilt, and so I think that they just promise to be kind to this horse. All right, next
Okay.
round.
Mhm.
All right. 3, 2, 1, flip. Ooh, we got a
Oh.
tie again, Mary.
Oh, it's the
So
same. Is it? Oh no, it's not. It's
no,
ruthlessness.
so ruthlessness is going to get to describe the actual scene,
Okay.
and then Glory and Mercy will add complications, and the tie counter goes up to 2.
2, 2.
2.
Boom.
I'm just thinking of pro wrestling when everyone yells about the count. 2.
2. Yeah.
Okay. Ruthlessness again. I love swinging between mercy and ruthlessness. This is great.
Yeah.
It's almost like those are the original mechanics of the game. Okay. I think that one of our adjectives is hungry. And another one of our adjectives is forceful. I think that we are reaching a point where we are starving. Our horse is starving. We are running out of resources. Yes, we have this like sack of gold, but we're really trying to like save that for our destination, home. And you know, we have spent so much time refusing help and refusing to kind of really engage with anybody outside of pure necessity. Um, that I think that we have reached the point of being depleted and desperate, and we need food and we need supplies for us and for our horse, who yeah, we've refused to abandon, unlike the last horse.
I was gonna say,
So
if you say even remotely imply that we eat our horse, I'm gonna be very cross with you.
no, we do not eat our horse. I mean, okay, on a pure practical level, that horse is old. The horse meat is
He
not going
would
to be
be
that
very
good.
stringy.
The horse will not really sustain us in that way. We don't eat our horse
Good.
for now. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think what we do is we steal from the first like the next settlement we encounter. I think that this is a relatively spacious farm that we steal like crops from. And then I think we also kind of like break into the farmhouse and steal like, you know, water supplies. There's probably a pair of shoes that we think for 2 seconds like, yeah, that looks about our size, and we just take it. And we go from there. So I think that we steal from these people, and we leave in the dead of night.
I think something drives you to leave something behind? What is it?
Hmm. I think that we leave behind. Um. Hmm. I think that we leave behind a piece of jewelry we've had for a long time. I think that it is a necklace. Where I don't think we have any real sense of how much it would be worth. But
Mm-hmm.
something in us is like, we're taking all of this. I think shame compels us to um, give something back.
I think that we have two complications for you as well because this was a tie. So,
Yes.
um, so the complication that I have for you is, as you leave, so you're on the road away from the settlement,
Mm-hmm.
you see a caravan coming in towards the settlement. What do you do?
So,
Or I guess to make it explicitly clear, you see the owners of this settlement like clearly coming in as you are leaving.
oh, okay. So the implication here is that they're going to spot us.
They're gonna spot you leaving. They're not gonna know what you were up to, but then when they get to their settlement, they're gonna see that a bunch of their stuff was stolen, and they're gonna be able to put a face to who stole their stuff.
Well, I am ruthlessness.
Mhm.
One of the things we took was a rifle. Actually, you know what? Because it's loud. We took a pistol. That's a little
Pistols
collectible.
are also loud, but
And they're also loud. Whatever. We're fucking desperate. I think no. I think we have a pistol. It's more easy to transport. It's more portable.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we shoot them.
Oh wow.
Oh,
So I guess my question is, why did you leave the necklace then, if it was going to come to this?
Oh, great point.
I mean,
I
it could be
think
just earlier, like before this happened.
I think it was before this happened. I think, leaving a necklace behind so that way, maybe this family could, or these people, who knows if they're family, if these people could, make something of it. But
Gotcha.
when push comes to shove, if we're gonna get caught and word of us is gonna spread, we need to nip that in the bud immediately. And
Hmm.
the necklace is still left behind, but we can't we can't let ourselves be more implicated and more hunted and more judged than we already are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, Mary, you have a complication as well.
Well, yeah, I had one in mind, but this that killed it. Uh-huh.
You're
Uh-huh.
welcome.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So these guys were coming back. Um, and blah 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 blah. Complication. You killed some folks. Um, oh, okay. Yeah. So hey, ruthlessness.
Yeah.
Um, as you're kind of cleaning up, maybe they were in like kind of like an uncovered wagon, like a cart kind of situation. They had two horses. There were two people sitting up in front. Their dad. Um, I think you've tied probably your old tired horse to to the cart or to the little wagon, and you've seated yourself. You're getting turned around, and the back is loaded with even more stuff, which makes you feel a certain sort of way. And then you hear a baby crying from the back of the wagon.
Fuck.
Yeah.
There it is.
I was like, I was like, is it gonna be a child or is it gonna be a baby animal? It's gonna be one of
Oh,
the
it's a
two.
baby.
Oh man. Oh fuck. Okay. So red is a lot of things. I don't think they're gonna kill an infant. I think that
Right.
I think it's so the goal here is to quiet the baby because the baby is crying. I mean, like, there was the loud shots, but like, baby cried, people can come out, who knows. So I think it's like very awkwardly and gingerly kind of scooping this baby up and trying to quiet them. And I think it's this really surreal moment of we are holding this baby, and we're like rocking it. And I don't know if we've ever handled an infant before. Um, and I think that we're crying a little bit, and I think we're rocking it. We're making like shushing noises. We're being exceedingly gentle, um, and I think the baby like calms down pretty much instantly, and curls into our side, and we are just like staring at it, and I think it's this really long, uncomfortable shot of us just like watching this baby sleep. Um, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that we thank you, comments, time to get guiltful. Um, shout outs.
Thank you,
Um,
chat.
yeah, and like we feel our it's like we didn't realize we were crying until we feel the tears drying on our face kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that we oh my god. I think that we like take this baby I think we just like drop this baby off at like another like farm or whatever in this little town. Um and just kind of hope for the best. And we'd have to keep moving. We can't take a baby with us. Um
Mm-hmm.
but I think that I think the next morning, or the next time the next time we get a chance to sleep and we wake up, our our arms are in like the motion of cradling,
Oh.
um
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
we just are kind of frozen for a while before we can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Time to be guiltful indeed. All right, next round.
Next round.
All right. 3, 2, 1, flip. Oh my god.
Holy shit!
All right. Well, tie number 3. And oh my god, I'm gonna have 3 different complications to deal with.
Uh-huh.
All
Being
right.
merciful is hard.
Yeah, it turns out. All right then. Goodness gracious.
Goodness gracious.
Tie counter goes up to 3. Okay. Goodness, what do I want to do? How are we going to be merciful today? All right. I think that again, we have an older horse, they move slower generally. I think at this point We're probably about 6 months into our journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Don't forget, we have a whole cart set up now. We have like our own little
yeah.
wagon.
Oh, you're right. So we actually have other
Yeah,
horses too, and so on.
we have
But I
3
think
horses. Yeah.
we have 3 horses, but they're all pulling like a cart and a wagon. The wagon can only go so fast, but we're
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah,
making
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, just for narrative.
Yeah. I think that we are trundling along, and we are making good time. We have resources, we have supplies, we have many horses. Like, this is all great. Not only are we going to get there in time, right? We're also going to be able to either use or sell these horses and the cart and so on. And that's even more money for the family. This is fantastic. Um, I do think, again, I think it's that Red is going down this road and sees a figure laying on the side of the road, and it looks like a young teen, and Red stops the wagon and goes to check on them because they're worried that they're not alive anymore, but sees that they've just passed out and they're very dehydrated, they're malnourished. um and so I think that Red ultimately decides to like haul this teen into the cart, gives them a little bit of water, and then starts taking them to the nearest town.
Mhm.
What do you do when the teen pleads you to let them travel with you? They have no one else.
um I think that Red hesitates. They've been asked this. This isn't the first time they've been asked this before. Clearly, yeah, there's the kid before, earlier on their journey, but this is actually a teen. They can fend for themselves. I think and I think that, like, y'all know how queer people usually have a pretty good clock when someone else is queer.
Mhm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I think you can I think that there's that moment of just like, again, like, I'm not gonna fall into the trap of, oh, when someone is like queer or trans or something like that, because you really don't. But again, just from being part of the community, you can tell how people hold themselves, if they're part of the community or not, how they
There's
interact with you.
right.
It's that
It's the
commonality.
it's yeah,
A-
it's the
And I
difference.
think this teen is leaving because of that, and they tell you.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
Yeah.
kicked out of wherever they were from, or they're leaving wherever they're from because they are queer and
yeah.
they want to find a safe place to be.
And I think that because we are in a one better position, we have a caravan, they can ride, they can do like stuff. I think that ultimately we we do say yes, they can come with us, but uh um I think that Red starts by saying only until the next county over.
Mhm.
Um and then to fast forward maybe a little bit, the next county over, you know that's not really a safe place either, so it's like, all right, the next county over, and we'll see where that goes from there, but I don't think we actually
Mhm.
wind up dropping them off immediately.
Yeah. A
Okay, so
good Pirate Roberts kind of situation.
yes. I will kill you in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So that was one complication.
One
Next
complication.
complication, because it was a three-way tie.
Uh-huh. The next county over, they commit a crime, and are not caught, but are, like they're not put in jail, but they are running away. And they come to you and say, "Hey, we have to leave right now. um, we got to go." And they have, I don't even know what they have. Like, just some boots. It's just boots. They stole some boots. And they have like a hunk of like a turkey leg or chicken leg in their mouth or something. And they're like, "Oh, we really need to leave."
um, I think Red tosses them in the caravan. They kind of book it, and I think they're safe. I don't think that anyone sees Red. I don't think they could identify them. But I do think that Red spends a good period of time scolding this kid.
Hmm.
I think scolds them the kid, emphasizes the importance of the journey part of things and them getting home, but then uh ends with saying, "Those are some pretty nice boots though." Like it, it's that emphasizing one that they're like, "Listen, I get it. Like, here's why this was bad for me. Here's why this could have ruined my chances to go home and see my family. And this is why I'm mad at you. But also, I totally understand. I get it. I don't think that the thing you did in of itself was wrong."
Uh-huh.
So, all right, we have one more complication to deal with.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be an opportunity for you to decide if you want, the teen to, if you want to if you want the teen to appear again, or if you want the teen
Okay.
to disappear from the story.
Okay.
What do you do when, you know, one morning you wake up and the teenager is gone, and so is your gold?
Oh.
Oh.
Emily, I thought we were friends.
This is what friends do.
Yeah, I know.
I
Oh.
thought we were friends. Now I know we're friends.
You thought it, now you know it for sure.
Son of a bitch. See, I know what Red's going to do. I'm just getting the courage to say it.
Oh boy.
I think Red grabs their pistol and goes looking for the teenager. Um, I think that unfortunately for the teenager, I think they're easy to track down. I don't think they're very good at the whole not getting caught thing. Um, I am still Mercy. I don't think that we kill the teenager.
Hmm.
I do think that we shoot them in the leg though, and take our gold back. And
Mhm.
I think that the teenager, is probably in pain and apologizing and crying, but I think that this was Red's mercy, was not killing them. And I don't think
Mhm.
Red says anything to them, and I think Red just leaves. And I think Red is crying too. When just not visibly to the teenager, but I think back is turned, walking away, tears are falling down their face.
Yeah.
So, all right, next round. Let's do it. No one has used their jokers yet, so
Do we
Mhm.
want to take a break
yeah.
now, or do we want to take a break after this next round?
Honestly, I think this would actually be a great time to take a break. We are about 2 hours in. So let's take a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 5 after the hour. Does that sound like a good plan for everyone?
Mhm.
Sounds like a
Sounds good to
plan.
me.
All right, fantastic. So in that case, we're gonna go ahead and take a little breaky break, and don't go anywhere. Please remember that you can continue donating to medical aid for Palestinians, and we will be back to continue telling the story of Red's journey home after this break. doing it live.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it
Doing
live.
it. All
We're
right.
doing it.
Hey, hi, hello, listeners. Thank you for sticking around, or if you're just tuning in, thanks for coming by. So, we are coming back from our break. So I'm just gonna do a real quick again intro for who we are and what we're doing. So, my name is Adam S. He, they pronouns. World Plus Bond is a group of tabletop game players, makers, and friends. We're celebrating our 6th anniversary with our annual charity stream. We're donating to Medical Aid for Palestinians, a nonprofit organization that provides immediate health care and medical resources to Palestinians in need of help. So, if you want to make a donation at any point during the stream, we greatly appreciate it. And we do give shout outs during the stream. Speaking of, we did get some more donations. Or we got one more donation. Someone, an anonymous viewer, donated £100. Thank you
Oh
so
wow.
much.
Wow, thank you.
I would also like to, again, because this isn't a recurring thing, shout out again Alpha39, who has for the next about 5.5 hours is matching all donations that are being received up to a total of £500. So anything you're donating will be matched by Alpha. Thank you again for that ongoing donation match. So we are playing Nostos, which is a game that I wrote. You can get it at hawk-windrider.itch.io, and is a game about a journey home after a long time away. So we're here having fun. We're here to raise money for a great cause. Just enjoy each other's company, even as we break each other's hearts. And remember, if you can't donate, just share the stream. The donation links helps a lot. If you do !donate in the Twitch chat, it'll actually send you a link to the Tiltify. So real quick, we're just gonna go through just the introduction, just name, pronouns, what role you're playing.
Uh-huh.
So I am again Adam S. He, they pronouns. I am playing the role of Mercy. Next up on the Discord list is Emily.
Hello, hello. I'm Emily. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing the role of ruthlessness today. You could you can you can find the games that I rate on Too Many Feelings 5. That's the number 5.itch.io. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, I'm Mary, or Marigold if you want to do the full thing. And my pronouns are AM. It's like they, them, without the TH part. And I have games I've written over at braverun.itch.io.
My name is Neon. I use they, them pronouns, and I am playing the role of Shame.
Fantastic. So, bring people real quick up to speed. We are following the journey of Red, who is a queer person. They use any pronouns, gender fluid. Um, when they accidentally got their lover pregnant, they needed money to be able to actually raise the family, as they weren't going to get any support. They went out west to go gold mining, gold panning, make their money to be able to take care of their family. They've been gone 5 years, and they've started the trek back home, starting on a horse. They've met with discrimination for being queer. They have met with hunger, starvation. They've had to steal, and they've had to make a lot of tough decisions. We're about halfway through our journey now, and so we are going to keep this ball rolling. Just as a reminder, I am going to be donating $5 for every Joker that is played during the game, and I'm also going to be donating another $5 for every tie that we have in while playing the cards. So far, we've had 3 ties. Everyone still has their Jokers. So, with that, is everyone ready to flip some cards?
Hell
I'm
yeah.
Wahoo!
ready.
I sure am.
Let's do it. All right. 3, 2, 1, flip.
Ooh!
Tie, a
Oh,
genuine
Tie.
full-blooded
Shit.
tie with the highest card. All right, we are going to go off of our indecision rules then. So,
do we each get one of these? One of the other ones?
yeah,
Like
yes.
this?
In this case, you each get one. Exactly. So, In the event of a tie, co-narrate a vignette framed by indecision. Your character fails to act when it's most important. Following this vignette, you will answer the question, what is the cost of their indecision?
This
So,
game rules. This game fucking rules.
Glory and shame.
glory and shame, especially.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, I think. Right?
Mhm.
But
I
the do and don't are both actions, maybe, and we just don't make a decision. That's kind of
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
I've got an idea, which is that I've been wanting to say, which is that I think we meet someone that looks at our wagon, I think, like maybe it needs repairs or something, and they
Hmm.
find signs of whoever owned the caravan before. They find, I think we cleaned up, but there's still a bit of blood somewhere we didn't check, and there's a sign, I think, that someone was marking notches in the caravan to mark someone's height.
Uh-huh.
And there's like scribbles also, there's like carved parts. It's very clear that this isn't ours, I think. Or
Okay.
wasn't always just us. And I think they, whoever is doing the maintenance, makes the wrong conclusion, and they think that we have lost our family.
Okay.
And
Oh my
because
God.
of that, they offer a gift of some sort. I think they offer to do the work for free, and then they talk on and on about this, and it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
That you're like, I think yeah, I mean, what do you think happens next? But I think that's like the premise of what happens, if you're okay with it.
Okay, sure. No, yeah, that sounds good. So yeah. Well, because in a way we have lost, right? Just not in the way that they think.
Mm-hmm.
um or at least we feel loss, even though like our family is maybe still okay. We haven't read the letters, so we don't know. Um, but so I guess what if the decision we're faced with is kind of like twofold? It's a few things. What if this person um like offers us comfort um
Can I pitch
in their
something?
home? Uh-huh.
Can this person offer us like comfort and shelter in their home, but also is like insisting on giving us money for our journey?
Yeah.
Because,
Oh,
we've lost so much.
yeah. Well,
I think
yeah,
it's
and I mean partly what I'm thinking is like they've lost too, and so I
Mm.
think they're trying to bond with us in, if not a romantic way, like a physical comfort way.
In a shared grief way, right?
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Yeah, and so I guess so. Like our there's like a few. I think we have three kind of things that we can address or not address all on the table, or
Yeah.
like that we have to decide how we're going to handle. One is they're offering to do this for free. 2 is they're offering us a place to stay and maybe a spot in their bed for a night or two. And 3 is they want to support us on our journey, or I think maybe even imply that this could be the end of our journey.
Yeah, I think it's like we're going to stay a day, and then like, oh, there's extra repairs. Okay, we can maybe stay another day, and I think at the end of 5 days, we're just sitting out there, and it's just so comfortable.
Mhm.
I think Red helps out around the house a bit, out of guilt to like pay for things, and it's it's very nice. Their feet get a chance to heal in a way that they haven't for a while. Um, the horses get a chance to rest, and it's nice.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think we well, kind of bring in the indecision part, and I think the indecision is not committing to stay and not committing to leave. Um, we keep saying we'll leave, and we keep not leaving. Um, and the person we're saying we're going to leave to is ourselves. I don't think we communicate very well at all um, to this um, craftsman, this person who's been taking care of our cart and taking care of us. And I think we feel guilt because we left to try to take care of our family, and we were coming back, and now we feel we still don't know if our family's still okay. And at this point, we're too afraid to look at the letters. Um, and I don't think we've gotten another one since the one we described at the beginning of the game.
Mhm.
Um, and because at the beginning of the game we were still in a place they could potentially send a letter to, and we would get
Right.
it. But since then, who knows where we would be? Letters may or may not be showing up back in that town, but we wouldn't know that.
Mhm.
And I think our indecision. So, my question, Neon, is I think we end up being here for. I'm going to jump us forward to a month. Like we've been here a month with kind
I
of
think if
a
I can
person being.
add
Oh,
things,
yeah.
I
Yes,
think
please.
it's like a change in seasons. I think it's cold now. We
Oh,
can see our
yeah.
breath hang in the air.
Yeah, we've got. I imagine it's like from the thick of summer to towards the end of fall, where it's starting to go from cool to cold.
Do we stay for the winter?
I think I think we do, but I think it's painful because I think
Mm-hmm.
out of a sense of shared grief, the um the craftsperson asks us details of
Mm-hmm.
the people we lost in theory, and I think at some point, we have to lie, and we make details up, and it burns on the inside because
Yeah.
we're lying about people we killed.
Right, right. Well, and
and
I
it,
think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I think it hurts because we're describing a life that um, we never had. We never had the ability to raise a child and do these things, and so it hurts to describe this life that we never actually had.
Oh,
Describe
yeah.
losing a thing
Yeah.
that we never possessed.
I have two things. One, I think we borrow a lot from the story the old guy told us before.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
We're just
Uh,
inserting pieces of his story into our life. We're like claiming bits of it. And
Oh, do
two,
you think they see the comb and is like, "Oh, that's your partner's, isn't it?"
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. And two, I think we're really inconsistent with how we treat this person. Sometimes we're really good to them and act like a like a partner would, like a girlfriend, boyfriend, partner. And other times we're really, really cold and distant and say hurtful things. Um, and I think we're just really inconsistent in how we treat them because we don't know. We're torn, right? We're torn between this glory and this shame. Um, and the fact that somebody else is wants us to stick around and is interested in us in this way is a really big deal to us. Um, and but at the same time, we still feel committed to our journey, um, and we're not sure what to do with that.
I'm picturing like moments of if it's okay if I just like add something.
Yeah.
Um I'm picturing moments of like, you know, like we start crying because of the guilt and shame and like missing our real family.
Uh huh.
And this person like holds us and like tells us like, like yeah, they're the people you love are lost, but I'm here now. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just this like
Forehead
deep,
kisses. Yeah.
yep, yep. And like I don't know if this relationship, and y'all feel free to like hash this out. I don't know if this relationship becomes like fully like romantic or whatever. I think I'm interested in it being kind of ambiguous.
Right.
Yeah, like in
mhm.
terms of it's very complicated
Yeah.
and there are a lot of
Right.
messy feelings happening. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
think
it's like
sometimes it feels like it is, and other times it feels like, wait, what was I thinking? To both sides,
yeah,
in the
yeah,
romance side.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
totally, totally, totally.
What
Um,
finally gets us to leave?
Mm, yeah.
I've got an idea.
Mhm.
Um, the teen shows up
oh my
and
God.
Oh God.
tells the crafts person that I think they tell the whole town that Red tried to murder them, and we leave fast.
Holy shit.
God, this teen really went from "aw, cute kid, we're gonna take care of" to the villain.
Well, I don't think it's like a villain thing. Like I think legitimately,
We
like
shot him.
I
Yeah,
mean, we
we
yeah,
did.
killed him
We shot them in the
after
fucking
they
leg.
stole all our shit.
Well, yeah.
This teenager, in my mind, this teenager was accepted for the first time in probably their whole life by us,
Yeah.
and it was this like very intense like relationship that they had with us. And I think them stealing the gold was like, like you backtrack, right? You start thinking, oh, this isn't gonna last. Yeah, of course they're not
Leave
going
them
to
before they
accept.
leave you, kind of a
Exactly,
situation. Yeah.
exactly. I need to get out of here. I need to, I can't rely on other people in this way because when I do, I get hurt. So they steal his gold and we fucking shoot them in the leg and leave
Yeah.
them. We
mhm,
leave them behind, and I think that
Right.
that is like, that is almost more painful than the gun wound.
Yeah.
yep. And I think what makes things worse is the crafts person doesn't believe them that you would do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
how, okay, what does us leaving end up looking like? Because you said we leave fast, they show up, we leave quickly. Is it the kind of thing where they show up during the day. Maybe we were out like at this store or something. We always keep the gold with us because we're paranoid. We were picking up supplies for the craftsperson, and we hear rumors. We hear people talking about what the teen has said, that they're in town, blah blah blah. Have you heard? Blah blah blah. Red did all this stuff, and we just our cart, our little wagon is full of the supplies we'd picked up, and we just go. We have stuff back at the house, back at the farm or whatever it is, where we were staying, and we just never go back.
I think it's less than a day when you get the craftsperson rides. The craftsperson is clearly exhausted. They were riding their horse and themselves really hard to reach you. And they plead with you to stay. Say that they don't believe the teen, that, that this is, people make things up like that all the time out here. And I think
Do we confess?
Red, yeah, I think Red confesses, and the craftsperson looks at them with disgust.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Mm-hmm.
I think it's this mix of disgust and like deep hurt, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
we've
Right.
been lying this whole time, and the person that they thought who we were isn't there, not completely.
Right.
And they think about the wagon, and they get very scared. I think it goes from disgust to fear
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah. I think when they leave something behind, you know.
That's our MO, yeah.
Like, yeah, well, and they, not on purpose, they're freaked out, like they were coming to us, and they were offering us something, or like look, you blah blah blah, whatever. They came, and
think
they were
it's-
sitting, and they were talking. They leaned something up against our wagon, maybe, and then they took off.
Do you think it's like a carved figure or something?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
They're a
it's like
woodworker.
it's a carved
It's
doll
us. Yeah,
for a child.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh my god. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Good, good. Okay, I think we can flip the next cards, unless you guys have more to ask.
Yeah.
No, I think that's pretty good.
I'll just say that it's what is the cost of your indecision? I mean, obviously it's time, right? Like we
Yeah.
spend so much time
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
And our child is growing, and our partner is still out there. But then also obviously it's the cost of all of this. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the letters, it's no longer just the letters that haunt your dreams, but the time you spent here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And the what if we were honest sooner and stayed,
It's a real Calypso moment.
Yeah, it's a real Calypso moment.
You wake up and the craftsman's name is on your lips.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You know what?
What?
I have one more thing.
You do?
When we remember our fiance, our beloved, the
Yeah.
craftsman's face is what comes up first.
Oh. Ow.
Yep. Perfect.
All right, next round. Let's do it.
Next round.
My goodness gracious.
Normal stuff.
All
You're
right.
so normal.
3, 2, 1, flip.
Oh, there we go.
Another tie.
Shit, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So I take these two. I will narrate via mercy, and then there's a
Ruthless
tie
in
which
glory.
will add complications.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna fast forward another month.
Mhm.
I think that we pulled over on the side of the road. It's nighttime. It's not safe to keep going. So like, we pulled our cart over to the side. We probably have like a small tent now that we have, and we're trying to get some rest. And we hear rustling outside. So we grab our pistol, storm out the tent, and point our gun, and it's the teen
Oh my
who's
god.
followed us. And I think that we find ourselves in that same exact position, gun pointed at this teen. Um, and I think that we drop the gun, and I think that we just
Can I pitch something really quickly?
yeah.
So
A
instead of being
complication?
not a complication. This is
Oh.
just this is just like the visual of it.
Okay.
Can I pitch that instead of it being a perfect mirror where like we're pointing the gun at the teenager who has nothing, I think the teenager points a gun back. And it's this moment of, we could just shoot each other now. And I think we both drop the weapon.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we both drop the weapons, and I think they hug and cry.
Mm-hmm.
I think what follows is basically kind of a pouring of the heart of like, hey, of Red basically going to this teen. We should maybe think of a name for the teen. It'll come eventually.
Obviously.
Teen is the name, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I thought we were doing like a folktale type thing of no one has names except for the main
oh, that's
character.
such a good point. You're so right. You're so right. But no, I think that like it's that pouring of the heart of like, listen, I was just so mad because you knew why I needed this. You know why that gold was important to me. It's not just money to me, it's the livelihood of my family. It's the livelihood of my child who I haven't met yet. And then it's the teen going, but you rejected me and you were going to leave me and then you shot me. You basically I finally found someone who accepted me and you left me, and I think that they both kind of just like I think that it's like almost a roller coaster of a conversation where it goes from like heartfelt conversation to yelling at each other to arguing back to a heartfelt conversation. It's just like a lot of like deep set emotions from a long and traumatic time that kind of they just like get out on the table.
Because it is also
Yeah.
the teen fucking turned a town against us and
Right.
all this other shit.
Exactly.
But not
Exactly.
by
Exactly.
lying.
Yeah, not by
But not
lying,
by lying.
by telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I think that um Red says, "Listen, do you want me to take you to my hometown where I know people like us are accepted
Well, to a degree.
to a degree?"
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the
Mm-hmm.
teen accepts.
Okay.
So, all right, lay some complications on me.
I've got a question, not a complication. How
All right,
certain are you that that still holds true of your hometown?
very certain.
Why?
It
Yeah, why?
because because it's where I grew up, and I know. I think it's a matter of like when I say it's more accepting, like, there's clearly people that are just not accepting. of course.
Mm.
But I think that there were enough people in like my generation that are accepting. It's like trying to think of like a good like way to put it. Like I think that Red growing up definitely struggled a little bit, but found community. And that's where they probably met their partner and so on and so forth. There is community there. It's not necessarily going to be pervasive throughout everything as we saw with our partner's parents, but there is
There is
that
a
strong
community.
there is a community.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Lay the complications on
Complications.
me. Yeah, I'll do it. Come on, rip this band-aid off. Let's go.
Um,
I mean, it's not my turn, but I do have a suggestion if
Yeah,
people are
that's a
interested.
suggestion. I'm thinking of
Yeah,
go
the
ahead.
teen
I have my complication, but go ahead. Yeah.
wants a concrete assurance that you won't leave them.
Oh,
Something
that's good.
physical.
Yeah. I think that. Yeah, I was thinking along similar lines. I was thinking like something like yeah. Let's just go with that. The teen
Yeah.
like needs / demand. The teen demands concrete assurance that you will not leave them again ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you give them?
I think this is where Red goes. I think Red starts off by leveling with them and basically goes, no one in this life is ever going to give you concrete assurances that they will never go somewhere and not come back. I won't lie to you and say, never, ever, ever will I ever go somewhere without you, or without taking you, or without you not being able to come with me. You're smart, you know that. What I will tell you, though, is that I will fight for you, I will provide for you, and I will make sure that you are safe and taken care of. And I think that um I hand the teen um the the carved bowl that the craftsman gave me. And I think I tell the teen, I'm like, this is for my young child. Can you take care of that for me? And I think the
Next
implication
complication. Oh.
Yeah, I think the implication there is like, hey, you're gonna be holding on to something that's very important to me. So, yeah. All right, next complication.
Next complication. The next time you check on the letters you never read, they've all been opened.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, baby.
fuck yes. Talk about
Sure.
pulling a pulling a trigger. Chekhov's letters, baby. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Can I say that can I say that the teen opened them and it wasn't even out of a sense of like spite or like being cruel. It was just like they were restless and couldn't sleep and needed like something to look at. Like that kind of like it's
Mm-hmm.
just like thoughtless
Yeah.
curiosity
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
and selfish curiosity too.
Sure.
They won't look you in the eye, and you don't know if it's because of the contents of the letters or out of sense of guilt.
Yeah, they offer to tell you about him, but you refuse.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just reviews red refuses to hear what was in them. I think that's really it. I think that red's gotten past the point of just like red was never gonna read them. And I think there is that moment when it's like when red sees they've been red knows exactly who did it. The anger spikes, but then it like deflates because it's like, well, that I was never going to open them. I had no plan to. I can tell myself I did at some point, but I really genuinely didn't. And I think it helps. Ultimately, it does help Red kind of go, okay, I was making a big deal of this. They're opened. It's okay. I still don't want to know the contents of them, but this isn't actually a big deal to me. Or that's what they're telling themselves, at least.
Right. I have one
think
more
that-
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Emily.
I was gonna say, like, I think that the teen like pushes you and is like, why won't you read them? Like, don't you care about this person? Don't you care about what they have to say? Like, why are you a coward?
Oh,
Oh, I love that. Why are you a coward?
can I add
Um,
something? I want to add
yeah.
something that I think like kind of is like before and after this, because I think this probably comes up after a while, the coward bit.
Yeah.
Um, um, I think they start like when you bring up your 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 lover, your fiance, whatever. Um, they know stuff that you haven't mentioned. Like they know their name, they know, like little details. And
Right.
sometimes they say stuff you didn't know. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah,
um,
and I don't think
not
it's
not on purpose.
purposeful. Yeah,
Right,
they're
exactly. Yeah.
young. They can't keep it in their head properly.
They're like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, like how they've been whatever, like
The
the
time they
garden they've
went
started or
riding.
something like that." Yeah,
Right.
or like the or yeah, like the dog, Charlie, whatever, and like and you're like, what dog?
What dog?
Like little details that like you don't have. And so like the teen starts to feel maybe like the teen knows more about, I mean, obviously they do know more about the current situation than you do. And then I think the coward thing comes up. That's all the
Yeah.
framing I was.
And I think that where Red responds, I'm like, I'm a coward because I care so much. And I think that Red refuses to elaborate further and kind of walks away from the conversation.
Uh-huh.
So
I think that in some ways the
Yeah.
teen loses respect for you.
Oh
And
yeah, of course.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
very good.
Next round. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Flip.
Ah!
Does anyone want to use a Joker? We are in the last 4 rounds.
Actually, yeah, sure. I'll do it.
Okay. All right. So Glory plays the Joker, and that results in Glory winning. So,
I get everybody's stuff.
Yep.
yes, you get everyone's stuff as if you had won the round naturally.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Joker gets flipped because it's been played. And you get to narrate a vignette, just as if you won naturally.
Okay, Glory in this case is actually we come to another town. We've been on the road for a long time. We're starting to get more I mean, we've been out of like the west for quite a while, so we're getting
Yeah.
we're going farther north, we're going farther east. I think we're probably from, I mean, fuck it, why not? We're from New Jersey.
New
And
Jersey, yeah! Let's go,
yeah,
baby!
I referenced that for no reason at all. Yeah.
Jersey, baby.
My
And
God.
yeah. But we're in like let's see. I think we're like not Kentucky, not Tennessee. We're a little bit farther east than that. So a little farther east, a little farther north. So things are very green, are very we're starting to get into like a little more humidity kind
Yeah,
of thing.
the air goes
So
from being
yeah,
really dry to really wet.
yeah. So I think we're in the I think just the way that we're passing through, we're up in like the Ohio area. And so um oh no, we're going to New Jersey. We're in like West Virginia. Um
Mm.
Yeah.
um so yeah, so things are humid, things are uh you know, I think we're back to like um we've been traveling all spring. It's summer again. Um it's hot, it's uncomfortable. Mosquitoes are menacing us every step of the way, but we find the town.
Hmm.
Um, and we go in, and the glory bit is that we have we go to a tavern, we go to uh, a saloon, and we have a really nice night. We have a good time. The teen and I, the teen and Red bond. We talk about our story as it's come so far. We talk about things we've had to do to survive. That um, thing we shot and ate that we don't even know what it was. We couldn't figure it out. Um, and we're kind of like the life of the party for the night. Um, and we're having a good time. We find ourselves, all our guard has been left down, for the night.
Right.
We are just embracing each other. We are just friends. We are fully there with each other.
Hmm.
We're not holding each other at arm's length at all, and
Yeah.
just having a good time together.
And
What? Oh, you go ahead.
as a question, I think someone comes up to you the morning after and says that they are on their way west. Um, I think they've been really inspired by you. They tell you that they were thinking of dropping everything and going back home, but they've changed their mind because of you. How do you respond?
Yeah. A little hungover, but sling my arm, in that kind of don't have full muscle control way that you can do around somebody's shoulder, and just say, I believe in you. There's a lot to be sought out there, but everything comes at a cost. Don't forget that. Your journey will cost you something. And it's not a quick buck you'll make. Might not come from mining or panning from gold. It might come from doing some shoe shining, doing some drink slinging, doing some sweeping, doing some digging. Not all fortune comes from the mines or comes from the streams.
Mhm.
It's up to you to make your own. And there is a lot of wild expanse out there. There's a lot of space to make your own fortune. there's also a lot of space to lose yourself and to forget who you are and why any of it matters. So tread carefully, but tread confidently. If you can't go out there with a purpose, you'll never come back.
I think they nod and they're very excited. They've got a shine in their eye.
Slap them on the back and say, you know what? I think you have what it takes.
How long is it until you hear of their death?
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's
baby.
like 2 days.
I was gonna. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's not very
Oh,
long.
yeah.
They die in that town. We're still in that town. They've been talking to the wrong people. They're sharing their same plan, but they're talking about like the resources they have to accomplish it. They're like, well, I have this sack, I have a little bit to get me started. I know it's not free to get, your plot. It's not free to get the rights to a place to,
Can I
to
have
do
a
your mining,
suggestion?
to do your, yeah.
Remember how in that town at the start you wanted to steal a horse? I
Yeah.
think they attempt to steal a horse and they're shot dead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and then their body is looted. Like I think they maybe even had like rights to a claim out there. Like they'd inherited it and they weren't sure if it was worth it to go out, and somebody took it. So they're just
Right.
kind of laid out. So
Yep. Yep.
and but at the end of the day, I think unfortunately for Red and who they are as a person, it doesn't really affect us very much. We're like,
He,
well, fuck,
they're
you know?
unfortunately not the first person who has died like this that Red has
Yeah,
encountered.
right.
Again, living
Like,
Red
well,
was
I
in
guess
that.
they didn't have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Red was in that town for like, took a year to get there, right? They were living
Yeah,
in the West for 4 years. And, how many people, did they hear stories they hear of people who didn't make it or people who left the West and uh
yeah,
just like immediately keeled over or was robbed. So yeah, like this is
right.
not ultimately, yeah, there's Red doesn't
I
feel
think it
guilty
feels like it
about it.
sucks, but like
Right.
one beer later and it like isn't a
Mhm.
big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick second here to read off some donations. We've gotten quite a few. An
Oh
anonymous
yeah.
donor donated £100.
Another one?
Thank you. Oh no, I read that one already, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
I did. Sorry. Not another one. I wish. Although, hey, if someone has another £100 laying around, please, it's all going to charity. We don't see any of this. So, um, Brianna Stoddard donated £10 twice. Thank you so much. And then, Cole. Thank you, Cole. Cole donated £10 and said, donation matching rocks so hard. Thanks for doing that. I love this event and community. Play games, have fun, stay hydrated. You are worth it. Cole, we love you. And also, like, hey guys, shout out to Cole for like managing a majority of the stream, delegating,
Clap, 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 clap,
planning,
clap, clap,
Yeah.
clap, clap, clap.
Oh yeah,
like
for real.
millions other things completely like free time. This is not a paid position, right? Cole is doing this completely free. Shout out to Cole. What an incredible and amazing human being. We all love you so much.
Yeah, Cole rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cindy, our stream host for today for this game. Shout outs to Cindy. You also rule. And I mean, yeah, you stepped up as a backup host. So thank you for
Just
being here and
this
Hell
just
yeah.
being awesome.
community is so good. I just
Big
love
deal.
everyone here. Shout out to
Aw, me
everyone.
too.
Shout outs to this community. That's a very noble choice.
We're tiny but mighty,
Tiny but mighty. That's us.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Um,
let's go ahead and next round.
I think the one thing that I want to
Oh yeah.
add here really quickly
Yeah.
is something that the camera does. I think that when Red talks about the West being this like wide open space, I think that we do see shots of um, like indigenous communities who are there, and like it's it's so easy
Mm-hmm.
for us to imagine the West by us I mean in this case for me as a white American to see the West as this like completely uninhabited hello Cindy again to imagine it as this uninhabited space that has like so much possibility in it and no one was there before, and it's like no there were people there and they're still there. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we see shots of like communities that have been destroyed or torn apart or damaged. We see people who are like fighting actively against pioneers
Mhm.
and
Can
it's
Right.
hmm?
if I can
Mm-hmm.
suggest something, maybe the
Sure.
person that actually was like had the horses that shot the person was indigenous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you go to fucking steal my
Absolutely.
horses. Fuck you. You've already taken enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um. Yeah. Okay. Let's flip some cards. All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip.
Bloop.
We have another
Oh.
tie, and then we
Whoa.
have shame. And I'm actually going to use. So a joker can't be used to break a tie, but since the tie didn't win, I'm going to use a joker to win the
Oh.
No. The tie still people still keep. I'm taking shame's
Oh.
card.
Okay. I
We're
see.
Okay.
making it
I
up as
see.
we go a little bit, but
So
it's
we still
okay.
complicate. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll still add a complication.
Are you
Yes.
okay with
So
that, Neon? Because like this is
Yeah,
the
I'm
second.
okay with that.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to make sure. I'm trying to milk more donations by using jokers. So.
We had a
Oh, I
joker
see, I
and
see,
a
I see.
tie.
I see your
It was-
strategy.
Gotcha.
Also,
And if you took away
real
our tie, then we wouldn't get a donation for that as well. Yeah. So
Exactly. So
I
no, this way we get a tie. The tie stays, so that still counts. So.
there
uh-huh.
we go.
Uh-huh. I love it
Also,
when we have glory and ruthlessness influencing mercy. It's good.
Yes.
It's great.
Mhm.
it's real good. Um, I will
And
also say really quickly that in the chat, thank you for reminding us that Cindy also made and managed the Twitch bot for the
oh
stream. So
yeah,
like fucking props, Cindy. Thank you not only for
Yeah.
being a
that's a
great
big
host,
deal.
but
Props.
also for like making a fucking bot and like adding commands and
Yeah.
all this really cool shit that you do. So
But
thank you.
yeah, Neon, I do want to confirm that you are okay with it because I know you haven't gone quite as often.
Oh yeah, but I've been saying a lot of things, and
I
making up a lot of details with other people's things. I'm okay with.
I
I don't
want to
need
make
to
sure that
claim
you
every scene.
feel.
I'm very comfortable with what I've been doing.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So in that case, what we see here is we are getting close. We've been probably on the road at this point 10 months, 10 and a half months. We
Hmm.
are getting real close. We're in the northeast now. Um and I think that one of the major throughways at the time actually goes right by the ocean. You Instead of going straight to like the part of New Jersey that we're at, it makes more sense to just hit the ocean and follow from there. And I think I think the teen has never seen the ocean before. And so we're so close. We should probably just push on. But the teen's never been in the ocean before. So yeah, let's take a day. We're going to have a beach day. We can go on the beach, swim in the ocean, and then we'll pick up again tomorrow.
It's a beach episode.
Beach episode. Anyone have that on their bingo card?
not on there. Really, next year we should add that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think it's as simple as that, and I think the teen gets to like be a teenager and like swim and have fun and like lay in the sand and just have a good fun time just kind of being a human person.
We're in North Carolina, heading north.
Well,
There
no,
we
we're
go.
we're further north than that, I think.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, well, we were already in West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
So we're probably just south of New York if I had or sorry, just south of Jersey, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, so
going to
like,
be
we're like,
honest. American geography is a mishmash in my head, so you could be saying literally anything, and I
Oh,
wouldn't
you're
know.
I
right.
literally am
We would have
staring
had to
at
go
the-
south for.
No, you're yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah, because
we're in Maryland. Or
yeah, we're
Delaware.
in Maryland, yeah.
Okay, that's a place I've actually been.
Yeah. Um so yeah, so we just have fun. And then I think also important, it's not the first time Red's seen the ocean. Not only is Red from this area, Red was also on the West Coast and there's an ocean there too. But it's been, almost 6 years since
Yeah.
they've seen the Atlantic Ocean, and so it's very emotional for them as well.
Yeah. Oh, and we still add some complications. So the mercy was stopping and letting
Hmm.
the teen the ocean do
Correct.
ocean. Okay.
For the record, I'm not going to kill the teen in some kind of terrible drowning. That would be the really cheap. That would be the
Thanks.
really cheap and easy thing for me to do, and I'm not going to do it.
Well, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, Emily.
You're
So
welcome.
for someone who's playing Ruthlessness, you're so merciful.
I can be ruthless in other, more interesting ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you can.
I think the teen asks you in a small voice what you would do if nothing was there at home.
Fuck. This is the person that's read your letters.
Yup.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm not saying one way or another, but they're
Nope.
curious.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Right.
I'm just giving all context.
Mhm.
I have two different answers, and I gotta think about which one I wanna lay down. Okay. I think that there is a very long pause as Red watches the ocean. I think Red just kind of quietly goes, then there'd be nothing left for me here,
Oof.
and kind of just lets that hang.
I think the teen starts apologizing and just kind of wanders off for a bit.
Hmm. All right, we have complications too.
Yes. Emily, do you have one?
I'm still
have one,
thinking.
but it might. Well, let me actually. I'm gonna shoot this into the our chat.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
No worries. I'm waiting with bated breath. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I
Sure.
mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're right at the end. That's okay.
So if you want to do something with that beforehand,
No, you go.
uh,
No, go
oh,
ahead.
okay. I wasn't sure if like if you wanted to use that before I
I get you.
got rid of it.
You can
Okay.
pick the team.
Okay. Um, the team got a job on a fishing boat.
Oh, oh.
They're staying. They're staying here.
I
I
think
think
that
they.
you go ahead.
Oh, I just say I think they tell you you can visit. In fact,
That's
they
nice.
demand it. They demand that you
Yeah.
visit and come back.
They've kept one of the letters so they know where you live.
I was about to say the teen says that they'll write you letters. It just gives you this
I
look.
will write you. I will write you letters because I know where you live.
God, and like the work on a fishing boat, like this shit's not easy. It's like dangerous, really
Mhm.
hard work.
Mhm.
Right,
You
but it's
know,
also
like
Yeah, but
it's
this teen followed you like across a lot of the country.
oh,
across the
listen,
majority of and
100%.
Yeah,
And
This
most of
tough
it.
as nails.
oh
and
yeah,
Mhm.
this team is ready
it's
for that.
They've got a
I'm
they've got
just
a good
saying that
limp. Yeah.
yeah, like the teen also has a limp. We disabled this teenager via gun
Uh-huh.
wound. But yeah, like they can still do the work and they're welcome on that ship and like it's not going to be easy, but
right.
they can or safe even, but they can do it.
It's
And
one of
it's
those things
Mhm.
too where because of the how fishing boats kind of work or so on, they are so busy all the time. There's actually incredibly little time for discrimination
yeah,
left. Like
Yeah.
everyone is just like working hard. It's cold, it's wet, it's dangerous. It's either trust your crew members or get off the ship.
yeah,
So,
Mhm.
I mean it's trust your crew members or fucking die.
right,
So
Right.
like
Right.
pull your weight or we're fucked.
right.
Yeah. Right.
Love it. Love it.
I think
Okay.
Red gives them a big, big, big hug and promises to write and visit and let the teen know that they're welcome anytime as well. And tears are shed, of course, but is ultimately very proud of the teen. So
Morning Measure in chat says that's so nice, but also bad things happen to people who get jobs.
it's true.
Yeah, we have to work.
Ugh.
Yeah, consider that. The worst punishment of them all. Work.
Exactly. Oh man, I gotta introduce a complication.
Yeah, you do.
Fuck. Um,
And it can't be that the teen washes up on shore.
no,
Yeah,
I'm not
if,
doing
yeah.
that. I can't.
Emily,
I
how
again,
picks up the game.
yeah, no, that would just be boring. Like
I know.
we don't, I think we leave it to the teen gets his fishing job and we don't know what happens to them, right? Like who knows?
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not right
Yeah,
now.
it's
They
the
have the
knowledge that they may have your address when you get there, but you're not there yet.
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Who can say? Who can say? Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
God, do you think your partner just gets like a like if they're still there, they just get a note from a random teenager like, "Hey!"
Who knows their name and like some intimate,
Yeah.
They have a
uncomfortably intimate
dog. Their
details?
name. Their
Hey, Red didn't read your letters, but I did. And wow, you're going through a
You
lot.
get home to it.
Okay, complication. So we've had this lovely beach episode. We have the teen departing to, join this fishing ship. And I'm happy to kind of like leave that.
Yeah.
Your Sorry to read this comment in chat. Hi, we haven't met yet, but you're kind of my stepmom, one could argue.
So good.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Stepmom.
Here's a question. Do we still have our old horse? Like our old
Yeah.
slow horse?
Well, yeah, because the
Yeah,
old
I
horse
think
could
so.
keep up. There's
Yeah.
just tied up to the other two horses and so on. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to
completely
carry
spared.
anything anymore. They're just kind of
Okay.
behind our cart.
Yeah, just kind of trucking along.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we promised.
We sure did.
We've given them a better life than they had before.
Being
But, like,
abandoned on the side of the road. in
All
the
right,
desert.
Emily, tell me all about how you're planning to get us to shoot this horse. Come on.
No, I mean, listen, if you were gonna shoot your horse, it would be out of mercy, Adam. That would be your call to action. I'm
Do we just get a scene of the horse running on the beach? Just like
Yeah.
emaciated, arthritic horse, like
Yep.
just like having the time of his life.
Yeah.
that's
I don't know if that's
beautiful.
a complication, but
No, this is part of the
No,
new
it's just a
episode.
shot.
It's our old ass arthritic horse, like on the sand, which isn't really like stable.
No, but it's got sunglasses on. It's good.
Oh yeah. This horse is living its best fucking life right now. All right, I have to introduce a complication.
Yeah.
I think that oh fuck. You know what it is? So we're traveling and we're getting close to home, and I think that we run into a member of our partner's family
Oh.
oh no.
What's
who
up,
demands
Dad?
to know where we have been and why we haven't written anything back.
Fuck.
I think it's our partner's sister.
Mm-hmm. And like I think it's the partner's sister, like she lives in Maryland. I think that but I think she's like traveled to New Jersey to like help raise this kid. So it's been this like, kind of back and forth between Maryland and Jersey kind of thing. But they've her sister and our partner have been exchanging letters for years now about
Right.
everything, and she sees us and is like, what the fuck?
Oh god. I think that Red is honest.
Adam, check the chat for a second.
Oh.
Yeah, you should check the chat real quick.
Ugh. Checking the chat. Twitch, please work. Your partner is my parent, so you're my parent.
No, that's
the
the
one
one
after that.
after the Mari wrote.
Oh, it's not showing anything. Hang on.
It says, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, if you could just read it for me. Yeah, my Twitch chat broke.
Hi, my name is Red. I'm 28 and I don't know how to read.
Perfect. All right, I've reloaded the chat. Now I can see it. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. That's funny.
I mean, that could be a completely reasonable explanation.
I mean, if it was,
Yeah,
why would our partner write us letters if she knew that we didn't know how to read?
Yeah, no,
Maybe
I
we've been
think
hiding it this whole time.
I do think though. I think that Red is honest. Ultimately, like I think that they mentioned that they were just. I think the way they said it is they're like they've been they've been too driven to get home as fast as they can, and they didn't want concerns of what was going on. And I think the reason they didn't write was they didn't want to scare anyone with the news of their journey. Because it was a hard journey.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of things. A lot of hard and scary things.
hmm
I think
And
that
I don't think that Red expects their partner sister to get it. But I think that like they just like hop up on the carriage and Red's the effectively sister-in-law is like trying to scold him and I think that Red just says I think they say like, listen, you can yell at me all you want. I'm going home. And I think they just take off in the carriage.
Wow.
I think that before you take off, I think that she gives you this really like piercing look. And she says, "Why is it taking you so long?"
Big country out
I'm
there.
back.
I'm back now. Came as fast as I could. And I think that Red just like levels the same like kind of challenging glare back. I don't think this is necessarily a side of Red that like the sister has seen before. I think that's what gives them pause and that gives Red time to like hop in the carriage and take off.
Yeah, I think as you're
Yeah, and
leaving,
I think we
sorry.
get a shot of them with the craftsman.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Neon, for picking up what I was putting down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's a shot of the sister just kind of under her breath, saying, "You have no idea what we've been through."
Oh
And
no.
now we're just gonna continue. We're gonna keep going.
Uh-oh. All right.
Uh-oh.
Adjust
Next
some cards.
segues perfectly into the next round. So let's go. All right. 3, 2, 1, flip.
I'm going to
Oh,
use my
hey.
Joker here.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Take the cards.
Take them.
Take them. And then this will the Joker stays out of the
No,
pile.
it just gets
Stays
flipped.
there, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Is there? Hey, quick question. Is there
Yeah.
a rule? Do you have rules in place for if the ending is a tie?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's what it looks like.
So I think this scene is I think as you're going through, like as Red is going through these places, it's painfully familiar. These are now places that Red's been through. I think people see Red. Like people here know Red. I think like it's not I think Red goes out of his way to avoid people, like seeing people. But I think like the looks Red is getting is like recognition now. Red's close enough, and I think Red has definitely built up a reputation over time. And I think the big thing here Red has to contend with is I think there's a the family Red's in-laws offer an invitation to meet. I think there's like Red's partner's father wants to meet them before they go home. I think they live somewhere that's close by, but like on the way, like that they would go out of their way to meet their father. And I don't think they've met in person before. I think it's only been letters.
So what does red do then?
I think it's a reading the letter, and then it's tossing it in a fire.
Yeah.
Where does the shame come in? How do you feel it? What does it look like?
Mhm.
I think it's shaking, and then I think it's like Red mutters under their breath, "I'm coward." And I think we see them saying that to their horse as they're like grooming the horse. And yeah, I think it's like also at the next town, normally Red is a very confident person. They're forceful. They look people in the eyes, but they can't seem to do that in the next town. And I think like even they like avoid the next town, like the very next town they go through, they have to like get supplies at some point, but they avoid people for a bit.
Did you put the letter in the fire because you're afraid, or because you're angry, or something else?
I think it's just fear. I think it's fear and shame. I think the big thing is shame here. I think like the letter is very what have you done? Like I don't think Red even gets through the whole thing, but I think it's partially accusatory that like you just left your child and we've had to pick up the slack there.
Fuck. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And I think there's actually something even more hurtful in there. I think the father says, "I've been more of a father to that child than you have."
Ooh. Ow.
Oh, that's great because we have gendered parenting language too. That feels real good for us.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Okay, question. What keeps you from murdering Dad?
I was literally gonna ask the same thing.
Oh my god.
I think we actually even get like like you think about it. I think Red thinks about it. Red like takes out. I think the way we see it is we see Red taking out their pistol. It gets cleaned and reloaded. The weight of it hurts in your hands. I think Red looks at the sign towards the town and just thinks about it, and then thinks about how their partner would look at them afterwards. And doesn't. And I think actually they take the pistol and throw it away into the river.
Yes.
They can't. It's the only way they can be sure they won't go through with it.
That's fantastic. I love that.
It's really good.
Any other follow-up questions?
Not from me.
All right, last round.
Before we do a last round, is it alright if we take a brief break?
Yeah, sure. Let's take 5 minutes. Is that enough for everyone?
Sure.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Okay, perfect.
We can just come back at the 30.
Yeah, that would work
9:30?
perfect. All right,
Or
cool.
9:30 for me. Yeah.
All right, excellent. 5-minute break. right, we are back. Back again. With more Nostos. We are going to be wrapping up the game very shortly here. Just a couple items left. Again, for those just tuning in now, Roll Plus Bond is a community of game players, makers, and friends. We're celebrating our 6th anniversary by raising money for medical aid for Palestinians, providing immediate healthcare and medical resources for Palestinians in need of help. Please donate if you can, and if you can't, please at least share the stream and donation links. I am Adam S. I am running a game Nostos, which I have written. Uh, because we are right at the end, I'm just gonna real quick introduce our players.
Mhm.
So just real quick, players, just your name, pronouns, and who you are playing as. I will start. Adam S. I am playing the he they. I am playing the role of Mercy. Emily.
What's up? I'm Emily. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing the role of Ruthlessness. You can find the games that I make on Too Many Feelings 5. That's the number 5.itch.io.
Excellent. Mary.
Hey, yeah, that's me. Mary Marigold, AM pronouns. I'm playing Glory.
Neon, they, them pronouns. I'm playing Shame.
Excellent. And where we have found our character Red last, we are very close to returning home after our journey west, raising money with the gold mines. We have one more card draw to do, and then we will hit the epilogue. So, is everyone ready to draw a card?
Yeah,
Mhm.
wow, I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, draw.
Pow,
Okay.
pow.
This is going to be my opportunity to play my Joker.
Yes.
What? So unexpected.
I know, it's a huge shock.
Shoot a huge shock.
Who could have seen this one coming?
All right, Emily. So, one
Adam,
last.
what just happened? I think you forgot to flip your. Did you not flip your card?
No, I
Or
did.
what?
These are
Why
my.
do you have? No, I think you gave the wrong one.
Oh,
'Cause we
I
were
see what
tied
happened.
before.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good. We're good. All right.
I mean, feel free to keep giving me cards, but you know.
All right,
God,
Emily.
I took a look at what it means for a tie, and woof.
Yeah. We'll read it all in a second. But Emily, one last scene. We are not quite home yet. So you are narrating the pre-homecoming vignette. We are not home yet.
God, I'm ruthless, and I'm narrating the pre-homecoming vignette. Fuck. Oh boy. I think. Oh, here's what it is. So we're near home. We're in New Jersey. And we are getting closer and closer to home, to our family. And I think that someone from our past, from like before we even before we even like had a family with our partner, someone from our past who like we like owed a favor to that we never followed up on, like or we stole from or something, is like, finally you're back. I demand, I think demands the gold that we have,
Wow.
as settling this debt that we've had for forever. We've had this for years. We weren't, we haven't really always been a good person. We
Right.
have been hungry and desperate and, doing what it takes to survive. And I think that this is another person that we get into an altercation with. I think that they attack first, but we're the one who kills them. I think that there's a knife. We use it. The person falls, and we close their eyes, and we leave. And I think when we dream, we dream of this person's skeleton, and I think it's this person's skeleton that just like, and we hear these like coins jangling around, and the skeleton is like just wordless, but like we hear like the clack of bone, and a gold just pours out of their empty mouth, and we wake up grasping for something we don't have.
Wow.
I think their mother comes to you. You've known her for years. I think she's very old at this point. And she used to make your favorite meals when you would come over to her house. This was a like childhood friend, I think.
Yeah.
And what do you say to her? I don't think she knows that you killed her son. I think she's just happy to see you. She knows that her son has been killed, and she's looking to you for support. Do you admit what you've done?
I think at this point, we have lied to a lot of people, including ourselves, and I think that this is a moment where we tell her the truth. We say
Oh,
that,
really?
yeah, I think that this is a moment where it's either we tell the truth and suffer the consequences, or we lie again and we let that like shame and guilt like just eat away at us. I think it's like the image of like termites eating from the inside out. The wood,
Mm.
the structure of a home. Um,
Mhm.
and I think that we tell her what we did, and I think we cry as we say it, and it's genuine tears. This was a childhood friend who we had this falling out, and then years later this happens. They demand what we cannot give, and we had to act. I think
Right.
there's a moment in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story where the it's fuck, who is it? It's the but it's during the big knife fight between the Jets and the Sharks, and it's the two it's the two men on either gang who like kill each other,
Yeah.
and it's clearly this moment of like like they both regret it as they do it. Like they didn't really, it's one of those like, I
Mhm.
didn't fully realize what I was doing until we're dying here together. And I
Right.
think that the moment of us stabbing them was kind of like that. I don't want to say that, oh, it was just an accident, because like no, we still fucking
No,
did it.
No.
we
But
Mm.
it's that moment of like, as soon as it's happened, it's this shock and regret.
yeah.
And I think we tell her all of that too. And I don't know what she does afterwards, but she knows that we're not lying to her.
Yeah.
She asks you to help stay behind and help carve the gravestone. Can't afford it otherwise.
Yeah, I do it. I think this is another gravestone that we help to carve.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How is
You,
helping with this gravestone different than the last one?
yeah.
I know this person. I didn't know, you know, that man's
Art.
husband. Yeah, I didn't know Bart. I just knew the idea of him. I knew the stories of him. I didn't know anything else. I have his comb.
Right.
I knew this person. We grew up together. I knew I knew what their favorite color was. I knew that they really didn't like green vegetables. I knew that they had a chipped tooth from when they ran into something, being dumb. Um, I knew, what it was like to um, sit by their bedside as they had a really bad fever one time, and we thought that they weren't going to make it, and they did. Um, and now I know what it's like to bury my friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you stay for the funeral?
I asked the mother if that would be acceptable. Like, that's for her to decide. That's her son that I
Yeah,
killed.
she can't bear the sight of you any longer. She
Yeah.
asks you with a pleading look in her eyes to leave her.
Yeah. That we
Okay.
leave.
God.
That
This is like the next town over, right? Like from
Yep.
this is like
where
the
we're
next town
trying to
over.
go.
Yeah.
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 I think this is maybe the town you grew up in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to ending the game. I am going to read the section for what we do for ending the game. So, the game ends when all players exhaust their decks. Once this happens, count how many cards you have in your respective discard piles. Whoever has the most cards will narrate one final vignette, their homecoming. The character is home, they are safe, they are changed. Answer the question, who have they become, in as much or as little detail as warranted by the fiction, framed by any of the emotions depending on who won. In the event of a tie, just like in gameplay, an ending or epilogue will be co narrated. However, you will now additionally answer the question, why don't they stay? So, the final scores are Shame has 9, Ruthlessness has 13, Glory and Mercy are tied at 15. So,
Yep.
Mary, we start
Yep.
off with a homecoming. We
Mhm.
make it home. We do it. We're at the house. What does this homecoming look like?
Okay. Um, not great.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the our fiance lover is there. There's no baby.
Oh,
Baby didn't make it.
yeah.
I think we get a cut to like a series of the letters that we were too scared to open, but that someone else did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
see the teen reading them and
yeah,
like the voiceover kind of thing.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
bits of the letters saying like, you know, I need you. You know, this has happened. How am I supposed to go on? What am I supposed to do? I need your help. I need you to help me.
Yeah. And now it's too late.
Yeah. I think that we're there, right? We're here. There's no baby. We brought back gold. We brought back a caravan. We brought back supplies. And I think that to answer the question right, I think we're just I think we almost like freeze frames on like we're at the door, our lover is on the other side of the door, and it just kind of freezes there.
Hmm.
And I think that we realize that what's really changed for us is we we realize that we went from doing everything for our family to doing everything for us.
Hmm.
It doesn't change and like we started off by like we're doing stuff for us, and then but then we're saying that we're doing it for our family. But
Right.
like we wanted this gold. We wanted the glory of doing all of this right. We wanted to come back triumphant and prove everyone wrong. We like all of these different things is like we we lost sight of what it was we actually were trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we never
Well,
stopped being kind, but we became selfish.
mhm.
And I think, and you can tell me if you disagree, that's why they don't stay. I think they
No,
take the
yeah.
bag of gold, off their shoulder. I think they place it down at their lover's feet. I think that they park the caravan with the two horses, and I think we hop on the
Old
elderly
one.
horse, the old one, and we just ride off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those, you know, nearly cliche scenarios where after we leave, somebody comes from like out back, like tending to the, chickens or whatever,
Right.
and
Mhm.
puts their arm um, around her and says, "Who was that?" She
Uh,
says, you know, somebody I used to know. Yeah, and then
yeah.
we ride off. Um,
Yeah.
I think we have some kind of idea of going back to the craftsman and trying to be honest. I don't think we have anywhere else to go. Maybe we make a stop along the coast and try to like leave a note for the teen to be like, "Hey, I'm not going to be at that address. I'll write you when I can." Um, um,
Mhm.
and then we head west again.
And I
Yeah.
think that we get like a montage of our partner's life in the past, 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think that it's, being afraid for being afraid for you, being afraid for herself, being excited to have a child. It's losing that child. It is that devastating grief. It is not having any of her letters answered, having no
Mm-hmm.
idea if you're alive or dead or something else, and just like this deep uncertainty. It is the pressures of her family, saying that you need to, marry someone appropriate. You need to,
Mm-hmm.
stabilize your life and your family. We can't do that. We can't do that for you. You have to do that. We can't support you. You have to find someone. It is her finding someone else, and I don't know if
Uh,
Hmm?
I think a detail here I want to add. I think that person is also queer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Right.
Um, yeah, and I think it's another queer person, and I think it's more family disapproval, and kind of
But at least they're
ostracism.
there, Compared to you,
Mhm.
they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly it. Compared to us, they're great.
They show up and they stay.
Yeah. They work, they find work locally. They don't immediately fuck off on this grand adventure to bring back glory and money. They stay locally. They go through the hardships together. It's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think that where we end off is I think our last shot is of us on the elderly horse taking the same road back out west. Um and
It's
that's
a
where the
mirror
camera.
shot, right? To the very
Yeah.
beginning, right? We're
Yeah.
on a shittier
Mhm.
horse and we look angry, we look more heartbroken than anything, but also we've still got that determination. We've still got that
Right.
Mhm.
resourcefulness, that
Yeah.
ruthlessness, that and
That
ultimately, right, it's the mercy and the glory that won out, right? Shame and ruthlessness, while they came into play, It's
Yeah.
these other qualities that it's mercy that drives us to leave, right? It's like not sticking around in the same town. Um,
Yeah.
that's
I think
mercy for us.
I think it's also mercy for the town. I think having someone
Right.
like you there would bring
Yeah.
a lot of shame on the queer community in that area.
Right. We yeah, we give it a kind of a bad name, not because it's related to our queerness at all, but just because we are rough. We have killed, like, in pursuit of our goals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not normal.
I think like Red is afraid that if they stay, people will say that people of that community are always going to be
Yeah.
like
They
ruthless and forceful, and they can't keep a family.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
They
think oh, go ahead.
yeah, I think it's that they they realize how selfish they've been, and so they finally do something that they feel is very selfless, which is to just make sure the community stays safe, to leave so their lover is safe, and just find who they are
Mhm.
again.
Mhm. Yep.
What? How? Here's a pitch that I have. Um, would it be interesting to us for us each to say a different version of how this story ends?
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
Oh
a
yeah.
folktale.
All right.
A folktale.
Keep it. We have 7 minutes, so keep it to like a
Yeah.
paragraph.
Yeah.
We each
Um,
say a paragraph.
Yeah, but they're different endings, right? So
yeah.
let's
Yeah.
start and um uh try to keep your attribute in mind.
In mind,
We
yes.
want to start
So
from lowest scoring to highest.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I think the ending here is forget which Greek story this is, but I think it's Odysseus. No, that's anyway. I know one of them. It's the prow of the ship that falls, and they die in disgrace. And I think this is similar. It doesn't take long before they their horse stumbles. It's old and has been pushed far too much, and it stumbles near
Mhm.
a ravine. They fall. It's a mercifully quick death. Um,
Oh,
and I
wow.
think the teen makes their grave marker, and then tells everyone the story. This is how the story is spread. The teen is the like one who tells the story, according to this ending of the folktale.
Wow.
Okay. Emily, give us a ruthlessness ending.
Um, we become a heartless bandit. We
Mhm.
roam around with no heart, and we take what we want, and it becomes this story of like violence and adventure. And I think that depending on who's telling it, there's a degree of sympathy for us, like we lost our heart, we don't have it
Mhm.
anymore. We steal things and we take things to try to fill that hole. Um and so I think it's a tragic end, but it
Mhm.
is very it's a lot of stories of violence, and I think um typically the way that this version of the story ends is we get into we get into a fight with the authorities, and it
Uh-huh.
doesn't
Oh,
end
uh-huh.
well. um and we are left bleeding out completely alone.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mary, do you want to
Yeah.
give
I'll
us
go.
Oh,
a glory
sorry,
Yeah.
ending?
sorry.
Oh.
The one other thing I want to add that I just realized how that ending spreads is through song.
Hmm.
By the way, I believe it's
Glory.
the Theseus was the
Oh,
person who's
sure.
retelling the Greek story. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
The glory ending is that Red makes it back to the craftsman, and the craftsman hears them out and hears this out, and we're able to work through that, and we have our own life, and in a way it ends up mirroring the old man in the mountains that we met, but we're the one that goes first, and in this version of the folktale, it's the craftsman who spreads it.
Yeah. And I think in the Mercy ending, I think we make it back to the West and eke out a living. It's almost in like it's like a prison of our own making, right?
Mm,
Where like this is where I went. This is what I did to that like caused everything to go wrong because I messed this up. I think it would be best for everyone if it would have been better for everyone if I just stayed here. I was good at it.
yeah.
I'm just going to stay here. And I think that like it's a case of just like works long and hard, lives a full life. I don't think that like there's anything good or bad necessarily that really stands out per se. I think it's really just
Right.
this is the story of like, listen, this is what they felt was best for them. So they went and they just did it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that brings us to 11:59. Just checking one last time if there's any other donations. No other donations have come out, but reminder that Alpha 39 Kai is matching donations for another 3 hours and 48 minutes. Real quick, I have been Adam S. He, they pronouns. You can find Nostos and the other games that I play at hawk-windrider.itch.io. And Emily, you're next.
Hey, I'm Emily. I use she, her pronouns. You can find my games at Too Many Feelings 5. That's the number 5.itch.io.
Hey, I'm Mary. I use A and M pronouns, and you can find the games that I write at braverun.itch.io.
My name is Neon. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at NeonWyvern, and also generally on the Roll Plus Bond server.
Absolutely.
Same.
And this has been Nostos. We are raising money for the Roll Plus Bond 6th anniversary stream for medical aid for Palestinians. Please tune in for the next game. What is the next game up? It is Locked Room.
Locked Room Murder.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, right.
So,
it's the Adam block.
yeah,
Yeah, the Adam block.
Like, the other Adam is going to take y'all on a fun tale of a murder mystery. So stick around for that. Have fun. Be kind, everyone.
Thank you.
Love
so
y'all.
much.
Bye.
Thank you all for listening.
Bye.